Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest, Stephen Ronald Bell. I always fuck with his content since he got popular like 2-3 years ago. And basically Stephen is a guy who makes money online, makes money with crypto, but the difference between him and 99% of the guys is he had like a criminal history, had all these experiences with drugs, with girls. So it's not the average crypto guy. And my first question, Steven, for you is like, how come a guy like you knows crypto? Because usually, all these crypto guys don't look like you, didn't have your background. How the fuck you learned crypto?
Yeah, true. I actually, so I got into Bitcoin in 2015. So I knew about it because of the Silk Road time, because obviously at that point I was selling drugs in Australia. So the Silk Road was like one of those, dark net drug dealing things for online, where you could just kind of like, I don't know if you've ever used Dream Market or anything like that. You could order weed and then they would ship it to you. This is a long time ago, maybe over 10 years. And then essentially, I was dropping off coke at the time. And then I met a guy and he was fighting with his girlfriend. And then I went inside and I just had a chat to him. And he started talking to me about Bitcoin. And he was a Bitcoin millionaire at the time. And then essentially I just sat there and heard about it. He spoke to me for about 30 minutes. And then after that, I was like, oh, I'm going to check into this Bitcoin. Like I'm going to start to invest in it. It was about $800 at the time. Now it's 90,000.
You invested before going to prison?
Yeah, I invested before going to prison. I started to, essentially, it's really the only thing that saved me, right? Because if I had got out of prison, I would have been broke. Because the police took a lot of my shit. Not so much took it, but you lose a lot of time. You can't go back. All of the connections you've made from crime, it's very hard to really keep them. Because as soon as you get out, right, like you would have it with the shit that you have. You have to be very careful who you associate with. Because even if you're not doing anything wrong, other people like to drag other people into their shit.
Yeah, sure. So basically, you had investments in crypto and you went out, the Bitcoin was up?
Yeah. I had got out and I was maybe close to a millionaire at the time when I got out of prison. And then
it's crazy.
Yeah, was on house
it's very
arrest.
Good to get out like this.
Yeah, and then I was on house arrest at the time as well. So kind of like parole. In Australia, you have to serve, if it's under 10 years and it's not a serious violence offense, you serve 1/3 usually. So if you get 6 years, you do 2, and then you do 4 years on parole. Parole is like kind of like house arrest in the community, curfew. You might have like a tracking bracelet, an app on your phone. You can't go to the clubs. You can't go out. You can't drink. You can't take any drugs. You get tested. But during that time was good for me because I just sat at home and just studied crypto. I was just do like 14, 16-hour days just learning about crypto because now I realized, fuck, there's actually money here. Like I realized that I was actually making good money. I had a big portfolio for me at the time. Maybe at that point was close to $2 million. And then I started a crypto fund. So this would have been 2017. The market went crazy. And then I started a crypto fund. So we started taking in other people's money and also investing. And then that was really good. We did that for about a year. And then we broke that up. But during that period, I made crazy money. And then,
but in prison, how did you manage things in prison? Like you read about crypto, like what was your mentality how was the first day in prison when they give you the sentence?
I'd already been once before, so I'd been on remand before. So I'd had a domestic violence. So I'd been in locked up for a couple of months before that. In Australia, they have pretty sensitive domestic violence laws. So certain complaints, you can get locked up, no bail, and then you have to talk about it later. But I'd already been, so for me, it wasn't so bad because I already knew a lot of people. Like I'd already been doing crime in Australia for years. And I didn't have a bad name. So I never really had anyone that I was avoiding. I never had any real drama in prison or anyone where I was sitting there being like, fuck, I can't come out of this cell today. Never had to sit in isolation. It's like anything, right? Like if you're like socially calibrated, prison is not that bad. If you're socially uncalibrated, prison can be really dangerous, right? Because you don't realize how dangerous it can be. Like they don't.
You had people when you was in prison that were like supporting you and coming with like these packages and all this shit. Like how was your setup before going to prison? Like you have the good setup in prison, like where you felt okay, that people outside are okay and stuff like this? Because I feel this is very important.
Yeah, I didn't have anything really set up for. I broke up with my chick when I was in there a few weeks because I realized that she was going to be shit while I was in there. I'd call up and
how this happened, because this is very painful. People don't know. I really don't know because I was only arrested like 4 months normally, and house arrest 8 months. But I felt like when you're arrested, everything amplifies. The pain amplifies. Like even a small gesture is 10 times amplified. Like how you dealt with this?
And also you feel like you're going to have massive FOMO before you get locked up. You're kind of almost jealous that you're going to miss so many things that are happening still on the outside. That's how it was for me. I'm like, but I'm going to be taken out for 6 months and I'm going to lose all of the traction that I have. I have traction in the city. Like, people know me. I got these fucking girls. I got this money. I know I've done all of this work, and now it's going to just disappear. So you kind of feel like you're losing control, because it will, right? Like I had it for the girls and things that most people fade away. So I ended up doing about 2 years of 6, and most of the people just dissolve after a few months, right? They kind of check in on you, and then they realize, shit, he's not getting out for a while. I'm just going to kind of fade away and not really check in or anything. Or they just add to your drama, right? You'll call them, and then they're telling you about their bullshit, their problems, the crap that they're dealing with. And it's
you were expecting this, or it took you by surprise?
No, I was expecting it. I was kind of, but I wasn't really. I mean, I wasn't delusional. I was dating a chick at the time, but I knew that it wouldn't work out as soon as I got locked up.
You know, it was like whore and stuff like this, you know?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. She wasn't like a keeper or anything, right? I knew, I was in no doubt that as soon as I got out, because also I'd done a lot of shit, you know, where you build a resentment, like you do shit to chicks where kind of like you can feel they resent you. And then as soon as one day you're going to call them one day and they're going to be fucking a dude or doing something, like I've seen that happen to so many dudes in jail. And I knew eventually that might happen to me. So I was like, I just cut it off. Because resentment with women, it builds up. And then you realize, like, later on, like, you've done all of this shit. Like, you've heard her. Maybe you fucked girls, or like she knows you've been cheating. Maybe you fucked girls with her, in front of her. All of this little things that at the time, it doesn't seem like anything because you're there.
Yeah, I have an explanation for this. So there's girls who are like weaker than you. They cannot do shit when you're there. And once you have a problem, they remember, and basically you're not there, and they have like the temptation to do something, and then they lie to themselves. Yeah, he did all this shit. Let me fuck his friend. Let me do this sneaky, you know? Now is the time to fuck him up.
The kill shot, right? Like, they put the blade in because you're already kind of a bit out of action. They're the ones that I hate the most. That's why a lot of guys, I don't like any of the girls who are, I don't like this like fake submission. Like, a lot of guys have this idea where they want a girl who's like, you know, she does everything I see, and I'm stoic and I don't talk, and she doesn't express herself. She just sits there quietly. I like when they're real, like passionate, right? Like, if you have an argument, you have an argument, but they tell you the truth. Like, even if you have an argument, they're like, you're an asshole. I can't believe you did this. I'm pissed off. I'm going to cry. I'm going to leave. But they come back. But at least they're real. It's the one that you don't see coming, like the punch you don't see coming that knocks you out. The girl where you think you're like, she's completely devoted. Like, she does everything that I see, and she's completely loyal. And then suddenly she just cracks. She's just waiting for that moment. Because like you say, they're weaker. And then they just eventually give you like a really big blade, right?
What I noticed, bro, and this also ties, I saw this stream with like, you know, this collaboration between Tate, Clavicular, these guys. And anyway, it was this conversation with Justin Waller and Clavicular, where you were saying like, yeah, I don't like going one-on-one on dates with women, but I take women on dinners with me when I'm with other men, blah, blah. And what I personally don't like about this is like, I feel like I made this mistake in the past where I had like a new girl with me, and I had like men, and we were talking shit, and we're talking with like pretending this girl isn't there. And this girl was listening. Like, I had this bitch, bro. I was saying like, yeah, I don't like drugs. I don't like these drug addict bitches. And she heard this. She was a junkie. She didn't take drugs in front of me. And then I find out she was taking drugs when she was leaving the house and all this bullshit. And she was pretending and stuff like this. So now I'm more like, just be yourself, be honest, fuck off. I don't want to impose these bullshit.
But a lot of those guys, that's all that they get. Like, a lot of those guys, that's all they get. They're really, women don't like judgment, and running around being judgmental of women is the worst thing you can do. If you're with a chick and you're like, I don't like hoes, well, you're not going to have many threesomes. She's not going to fuck like, I don't know, 3 or 4 girls, because she's going to be like, oh, he doesn't like hoes, so now I have to pretend that I don't get wet over kissing another chick, or I don't like these degenerate ideas. And then they just end up with a girl who's might be a hoe, but with them, they're not.
With them, she's pretending she's somebody else. Yeah,
that's right. Or they have this fantasy about getting girls from like a small town, from the village or something like that. That's a complete flat fantasy, right? Because they think that because the girl hasn't had less exposure, like she hasn't been around those sort of things, that means that she's not going to be a hoe. She just hasn't had the opportunity. You don't know, right? Because she just doesn't have the opportunity.
And also, bro, I think you understand this mindset, because I'm sure you understand. Like, a guy in your position, let's say you're either like Dubai or Poland or things like this. For you, I think is very important when you pull out a nice car and you dress nicely and you spend money to be with a girl that's always also like hot and dresses good and things like this. So you don't want to be with some peasant from the village. Like, this is not the biggest flex in the world to be with some peasant, because imagine your friend will have a hot chick and his hot chick who's crazy will say like, look at this worm bitch. Look, your friends
and they
have
do,
fucked
right?
all these ugly bitches. You know,
Yeah,
this is
they do,
also
right? Yeah, and they have no style. They don't know how to do makeup. They don't know how to be sexy. Being sexy is like, that's rare. Like, some girls can be, you know, like 20 years old, hot as fuck, where you look at them and you're like, wow, she's stunning, but she's not sexy. And then a girl could be a 6, but you're like, wow, everyone just wants to fuck her. Like, she's so sexy. There's something about her that's just hot.
sex
Right?
appeal cannot be taught.
Yeah. Can't train that. But then I think a lot of these, like, you know, these other guys, I actually believe a lot of that stuff is insecurity. Like, I genuinely do believe that guys fantasize about getting a virgin because most of them can't fuck. Like, for real. Like, they don't know what they're doing. They can't overwrite. Like, if you get a girl and she's got 3 bodies, but she's hot, she's an 8 or 9 out of 10, and you're the best, you're the craziest, you do all of these like dopamine new shit, right? You've overwritten the 2 or 3 from the past. They're gone. She can't remember them because you're the one that's left the biggest impact, right?
Yeah, and also it's I think in terms of the body count, you
Yeah.
can have like some virgin or a girl who had like just one man, but you can just sense she's a whore. Like, you can just sense she daydreams about being in Saint-Tropez in Dubai. Like, she's not a whore now because she didn't have the possibility, but she will become. And maybe you meet some other girl who had like 2, 3 relationships. On paper, she has more bodies, but maybe she's better. You know?
Yeah, true. And more long term, right? And you also see it some girls where they're like kind of not hoes, but and then you see them, but you can see like they want to be a hoe. And I think like hoes have their place as well. Like, if a girl wants to be a hoe around me, I don't care. Like, I don't sit there and be like, this girl's a whore, she's stupid, what a slut, what are this? Like, people are as they are. Why sit there and, you know, if someone wants to be a hoe, so be it. But again, you're seeing more like guys probably the same as you. You see women as they are because they're not afraid to be who they are, right? Because they know you're not sitting there being like, you're a dumb bitch, you can't do that.
I like people who are professional. Like, if a girl is a whore, at least be a good whore, at least dress well, at least don't embarrass me, at least be nice at table. Like, don't be there. A lot of girls nowadays are nothing. There's some frog who works at the gym, gets fucked by 20 guys, looks like shit. No, like, just be a good whore. You cannot be a good whore if you're 23, don't have fake tits, have all these things. You know, it's like bare minimum. Be whore if you're whore.
Yeah, have a level.
Right.
I think it's true. But also I see a lot of the, I don't know, like you would see it. A lot of the guys people kind of sometimes look up to, it's a lot of that stuff. They don't really get the girls or the experiences that we probably get, right? Like, because you meet your own level. If they feel like, you know, if a girl can't, maybe she's a good girl, but you see a different side to a good girl, she can still be like, you know, like talk about kissing girls or want to fuck other girls or want to do this stuff. And then she can be with a guy like that. And she's like, wow, that's disgusting. Like, I would never do that. I don't like any of that stuff. So you can't be too judgmental. You don't get the best experiences. Like, it's like the vibe, right? Like, if a girl comes into a party that you run and the guys are sitting there like this, like stoic terminators and glaring at everyone, the girls are going to have no fun. Like, no girl's going to get her tits out.
Bro,
no girl's going to
what I noticed in my experience is that 99% of the girls, actually all girls, they adapt to the environment they're in. So, for example, my ex-wife, when I met her, she never talked to me about like fantasies with other women, all this stuff. And we went to some parties with the Tates, and they were with their main chicks back in the day, blah, blah. And all the girls were kissing, and out of a sudden, this bitch was kissing as well. The bitch who never talked, you know? Yeah. And this applies to everything. Like, if a girl gets into a group of guys, of people who do webcam, they'll do webcam. If a girl gets into a group who does swingers, you do swinger. Nobody has no principles, you know? Nobody has real principles. You adapt, as a woman especially.
I always think the man is like the glass, right? Like a glass of water. The man is the glass, holds the liquid, but the girl is the fluid liquid. Like, she can adapt to anything that you put her in. It's this. I think it's the same sort of a story. But yeah, I mean, with women, it's the judgment. You know, a lot of the guys. We would run big parties in Warsaw, and if any of the guys were there that were judgmental of women, the women would just be completely like, you know, trying to be good girls, trying to be quiet.
I actually had this question. I was thinking about this. How was your experience as a foreigner in Warsaw, and how did you manage? Because I knew you have there like 4 or 5 friends and stuff like this, and I know from my experience, very hard to manage the egos and to keep things long term and all this stuff. Live together, go out together, organize everyone to not have bullshit ideas. Like, how did you handle all this?
We have to. We do well because we always have a couple of rules, right? We don't fuck each other's girls. We don't talk to each other's girls. We don't fuck each other's exes. We try not to overrun. You know, if we know that one's talking to another, we don't override it. We try to keep a level of integrity of that sort of regard, because I find that's where a lot of stuff slips up. Like if a friend of mine was a friend of mine, and even if I realized he was dating an ex or taking her out, I might not care entirely, but I would still care a little bit. And then it's kind of resentment builds, because I don't like the idea. Like, imagine that. You fucked this girl, got rid of her, a month has passed, and then you're sitting on the couch, you know, maybe you're watching TV or something, and then your friend walks in with her, and then she looks at you and thinks that in her own way she's like dunked on you in some way. You know, she's like, oh,
she thinks
I've
she
got you.
did you wrong and stuff. Yeah.
And then he kind of like, he's being used to kind of, I don't know, get her to kind of move against you in some way. So, but we've always been kind of like, and any issues or anything that comes up, we're happy to discuss it, which is good. And we're not the same. That's the thing that does well, because we're all different. If we were all too much the same, I think that would be problematic. You know, where everyone's there and everyone's like, I don't know, too much. It's like everyone kind of fits together. If 2 people are the same and they're together for too long, often they're going to fight, because the same girls like the same people. And then it kind of can be a thing, right? Like you go to a club with a guy and he's very much like you. And then you start over like kind of crossing into each other's lanes in some ways, right? And you get competing where they're like kind of comparing each other to another. But we don't do a lot of competition either. Competing is, I think that you have to think your team or your crew versus another, rather than
I think the same. Yeah, it's true.
Because competition,
because this is what the worms do. They compete between each other. If you see, like, bro, I was tweeting about this. Like, most people, like, you can beat up. Like, if I go now 9 out of 10 crews in Bucharest or in any city, and I go to the table, is 5, 6 guys. If I go to the one I need and I slap him, nobody will do shit, because they're hating each other. They're talking behind each other. Bullshit ass weekend friends.
Laugh, right? Then later on, they'll like message each other and be like, "Oh, he deserved what he got," you know. And then it's
bro, I did this recently. Like recently, I went, like I even filmed it, but I couldn't put it on YouTube because they would put it down. So I had some guys in the club. I went and slapped a guy, all his friends there, and you know what his friends did? Call me after, bro, oh, ha ha ha, laughing, came to see the video. Bullshit, everyone is bullshit. Us.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so sad. But then the person always thinks that they're safety in numbers. But there's no like anything, like they're kind of like cockroaches together, and once one gets splattered, the rest of them are kind of like, ugh. Like no one wants to really get involved these days, right? And it's often the same thing, like
the competition and stuff. You know?
Yeah, they compete, right? They'll DM each other's girls, and then you find out they're like liking the chick's stories and shit. You know, like you're with a chick at the table, and then she shows you the phone, and some fucking like dweeb is liking her shit while he's sitting like right there. You know, they do a lot of that like sneaky shit. Or then later on, you find out like some guy who was there is following like a couple of the girls that you brought, just randomly starts or DMing them and doing like.
And it's, you know what's crazy? Like what's crazy is like it's very normalized to be like this. Like I remember 2 years ago, I made this friend, like this trust fund kid in Bucharest. You know, I made the friend. He had money, he was okay, and took him with me to the club one time. And the next time he was with his friends. And what he did was like, he was texting girls at my table. Yeah. The girls, I presented to him, like, come to this table. And I sent the security, I tell him to come. And I tell him, you fucking worm, how you message this bitch there with me. But I saw in his eyes, he never realized, nobody told him. He was like 22. He is not, because in their world, they fuck the same chicks, talk to the same chicks, talk bad between each other. For them, it's normal.
That's normal. And then they'll hang out together even though they all hate each other. Right? I see it a lot with the influencers. I know a lot of influencers in Poland, and I would see that all the time. Like a lot of the, in the front end, they're fucking like handheld, high fives, doing streams together and doing fucking content together. And then they'd be like trying to fuck each other's girlfriends, trying to fuck each other's girls, trying to like, you know, be alone with girls in the parties, like fucking their friends' girlfriends, like trying to like, you know, in the like weasel way. Like, oh, I'm just going to like, you know, and then you look up and someone will like disappear with a chick and they like take it to like some quiet area to try and like, like whisper to her and shit, like really sneaky shit. I respect if someone wants to fuck the girl that I brought and they try to do it in front of me. Like, if they're like, you're sitting there and someone's like, I like your girl, I'm going to talk to her. I'll be like, okay, I don't like it, but I get it. I just don't like it where they do it from like, the kind of the sneaky, the back end. But yeah, like you say, like that's incredibly common. Like there's a lot of, in Warsaw, there's a lot of that, that happens a lot. Dubai, that happens a lot. It's more accepted here because a lot of the people are here and they don't really care about their reputation, right? A lot of Dubai is, it's short term, right?
Well, how you like it more, like in Dubai or Warsaw? You plan on going back on Warsaw?
Yeah, I like Warsaw more. I don't know if I'll go back because I don't know if I can go back to the Schengen at the moment. I have to stay away from it for a minute, I think. But I think that I'll probably go back at least to Europe at some point. I like
the
it more.
difference in lifestyle, the lifestyle you have in Dubai versus
heaps better, right? It's heaps more wholesome. It's good to be around normal people, like more normal people than Dubai, where a lot of the people are networking, flexing, materialistic, short term. How do I I want to get higher? How do I meet people that can boost me higher rather than how do I like make a friend or be kind of real? But Dubai is good for networking. It's very good and for work and things like that. But I just don't like it for the long term. Like to live there for me, it's because very different, right? Like if you're from Australia or Romania, is the same. You come here, it's nice, it looks good, like you say, the aesthetic's nice. But when you live here, it's kind of like it's not what you used to, right? It's completely different. Whereas Romania,
you would stay now a few months until when it's hot, and then you go back to Warsaw.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'll stay here till at least probably April, and then I'll head out after that. But what about you? Staying local for a while, right?
I will come, like I told you, like next month in Dubai. And then I will see. Maybe I will spend more time. I don't know, in like May in Monaco and stuff like this. I have to see. Have to analyze.
I've heard good things. I've never been to Monaco, but I've heard it's nice. It's good to get away from the it's still safe. Got to be somewhere still safe, right? What's Romania like? Is it getting full of like shit munchers yet, or it's still pretty?
Because they're bringing immigrants, but they just slaves. They just bring food and stuff like this, and don't stay nothing happens. Like rare cases,
What are the
the street where I say in here, like the suburbs of Bucharest, is like only like white people, warm people. They're okay. They're not even people with tattoos. There's I don't know.
What are the
when I walk the house, I see lots of victims. They're not like tough guys, which is good. This is what I enjoy.
What's it like with the Romanian, like the gypsy people? Are they all right? Or people
shit,
like the natives, right? They're more like they've been there, right?
They're like the blacks in the US, bro. But I don't really, what the thing is, people can do you wrong when you give them access to your life. So I was very careful when I started getting noticed and people knew that I have money and I was going out. The thing with me was I showed myself like later in life. I didn't until I was like 25, 26. I just sit and worked and stuff like this. So by the time I was this age, I already understood that I wasn't stupid to make bullshit friends. They were like scamming me or they were like shady guys,
Yeah, it's not.
And to be honest, mostly in the last 5-6 years, I only made friends from the internet. Only maybe one guy. It's from real life.
Because you have your team, right? Like you have a team of guys I always see because I follow your Telegram and I see you guys sparring all the time and you seem to have like a crew of dudes, right? Like it seems to be the same kind of guys. What do you call them? Like an army almost, right? Like just a group.
Yeah, I like just having my friends and we all live in the same area and we go to gym, like for example, or the boxing gym, and it's now outsiders and stuff like this. Because I know how people think. Like if I go to a commercial gym, just because people know me here, some worm will tell me like, bro, let's spar, take the phone, and try to be sneaky. And the best way to protect yourself isn't fighting. It's just being smart and not putting yourself in the position.
And removing access, right? Like not really being there. Because you realize what it is that people do. Everyone wants that video or they want to start beef or they want to start a problem. And even if you go and get them or do something, like you're in trouble, right? And still, there's nothing to gain. Like if you hit someone and they get hurt, like you're fucked.
Yeah, bro. I had this problem like 3 years ago. I went to a club and I didn't have security with me. And basically, I was me, my soldier, and 20 girls. And I don't know if in Warsaw, I think is a little bit different from what I talk to people who live there. It's like different types of clubs. But in Romania, the clubs are like everyone sits at his table, and usually it's like only men or men with their girlfriends, and it's very rare like I go with many girls.
So many
So
girls,
anyway, I had a table next to me with 4 guys that were alone, and when I went to the bathroom, I see them at my table just like flirting with the bitches and stuff like this.
Drinking you
So I
shit,
picked
right?
up 2 of them, and then they were like calling me for other people, like, yeah, I know you have legal issues, give me $50,000, all this bullshit, all this, I don't like this bullshit. Even if you beat somebody up, you still get in trouble, but it's better
At least
to like
avoid. At least they take money, right? In the US, they want money and they still want to lock you up. So that's even fucking worse, right? Like a lot of that stuff is much worse. But no, I see that even in Warsaw, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of guys who just will do anything for pussy. Like it doesn't matter what the girl is. She could be a 5 out of 10. You could have a table full of 10 5s. There's people that just want them. You get it all the time. I always have a saying with the guys, if we have groups, a table full of girls, if you're out with like, I don't know, more than 2 girls and it's just you, so you're managing 2, I don't like to be out after 3 a.m. because I realize after that period, like 3 a.m. is where everyone's kind of drunk enough to start a problem with you. They're desperate. They realize, fuck, I'm not going to get any pussy tonight. Like it's over. I'm at the sort of buzz where I'm like, the night's over, so I'm just going to go all in. And then that's when they start to push the boundaries. Like they come around your table, they start to kind of, like you say, like worm around and try to get access to what it is that you have.
Yeah,
and then that's
I'm very paranoid about me personally. I'm very paranoid about this shit. I always don't like this. The only time I'm alone somewhere is when I go on a one-on-one date with a girl.
Yeah.
Sometimes they live in like far away, and I just might go to some bullshit neighborhood, and I always hate it. It was like 5 guys at the next table and me with the girl. Although nothing happens, but only the feeling. I don't like it,
I don't like it when they stare too, right? And then eventually they can stare, and if they feel like they can do something, they eventually do. And there's certain people, right? It's certain types of people, right? Like certain denominations that they usually more, I don't know, where they try to be like more dominant. I don't like anyone try to dominate me. Like if I'm sitting alone or anything, I don't like to feel like I'm getting like someone's trying to intimidate me. You know what I mean? Like if someone's staring at you, especially Romania, right? Like if I was in Australia and some foreigner come in and tried to intimidate me, I would go crazy because it's my country. And it's probably the same in Romania, right? And you probably get a lot of people come into Bucharest, right? Because I think the Tates were there, you're there. And who is the doctor? He's cool. He's fucking big.
Mm-hmm. He's a friend of ours. He lives on my street as well.
Yeah, Fadi or something, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Dr. Hardy.
So you would get a lot of people come in and probably they're like, I'm in town. Can you help me out with this? Can you do this? Right? Probably get you to try.
Bro, I like, especially 2020, 2022. I used to I went out with many guys, especially from the war room and stuff like this. I don't mind, going out with people.
Yeah.
And the foreigners come, bro, but usually they're okay. They come to this club. I go to a club here. There's in the top.
What's it called? Face? It's a Face. It's a big one. Yeah. I've heard good things.
It's considered in the top 100 in the world, and people come there. But it's okay. Foreigners are acting right,
Yeah.
And we have good setup here with goons and stuff like this. We don't have no problems,
Yeah. That's really good. I think that as long as the people who come, they're respectful is a good thing. Because I always hate, even in Warsaw or somewhere, sometimes people come in and they're like, I'm only here for a week or a few days, so I'm just going to shit the whole place up, right? They come in and they're like, I'm only here for a holiday, so I can just disrespect people, be rude, and I'll just leave, right? And then you see a lot, foreign type people come in. I had the same thing when I first got to Warsaw. You don't get the best girls. Even me as a foreigner, I've been there for a very long time. I say most people in the city know who I am. I still don't get access to the best girls because I'm a foreigner, right? There's that purist where they're kind of like, you're not one of us. It's hard to penetrate. The Polish people, it's really hard to penetrate certain circles. They're just like, I don't want anything to do with you. Doesn't mean they hate you. They just have that purist thing where they're like, you don't speak Polish and you're not Polish.
I think the thing is for example, girls who've been to the best high schools from the best families, they have their friends from high school. They just have their circles and shit,
So
it's
that Romanians too, right? It's probably similar.
It's the same, but you slowly I think to get the best girls in any city, it's an element of networking, because let's say I will have sex with some whore, and then that whore, I know she's a social connector and has lots of friends, and I'll make sure I'll treat her nicely. She brings other friends, and then the girl I'm actually liking, she heard of me, he's been with this and this and this, because it's the thing with popularity is like, doesn't matter if I'm popular in reels talking about being masculine. It matters if I'm popular in their groups. If I fuck their friends, this
That's
is
right.
how they give me pussy. And don't give a
That's
fuck
true.
if I'm popular. Yeah, bro, it started from the bottom. This is for
Yeah,
men.
they don't
It's
give a
men
shit.
like
Yeah, they
this.
don't. They don't care if you're fucking in trust fund, baby. Like they don't care. If you're in the circle, you're in the circle. Like I find women in general, they don't care how you made your money. A lot of these like red pill types, they think that the woman thinks they're like some alpha male and some. I know some of the guys that I know that get the best girls look like kind of like femboys. Like they don't look like fucking Chad or they're not ripped to shreds or any of that. They're just fun. Like they're fun guys to be around. You're around them and you're like, I always have fun. He's laughing. He's not like, you know, dominant. He's just trying to be chill. Like a lot of those guys that have this real like fantasy of dominating everything. Like, how do I dominate this chick and dominate the room and mog this and mog? Women don't like any of that. Like, it's not fun, right? And they feel the tension. Tension turns them off. Like, you know, I
like
like
now, especially nowadays that the world is fucked and everyone wants to have fun and everyone is bored. Fun plays a huge factor. Like even fun in terms of like if you're present there to have be joking and stuff like this, and also like the parties, the setup, the fun things to do. People are retarded nowadays. They cannot sit still.
You need that shit. Like we would have the parties that we had a big house, and you need so many different things to entertain, right? You need all of it. And it's just the environment. As soon as a girl walks in, like you have a group of girls. It's not just one. If you have a group of girls, you would know too. And one starts to feel uncomfortable. She's like, I'm bored. It's like contagious. It's like without speaking, they're all just bored. And then all one is like, these guys.
The most painful word, I'm bored.
Yeah. Or you bring one friend or someone and you're like, he's not great with girls. And then kind of suddenly all of the girls are like, I'm not comfortable. Or you bring one guy you don't know that well. Some guy's like, oh, I'll bring a friend of mine. You never really met him before. He comes, he's weird. And then suddenly all the girls are like standoffish, right? Like they're kind of like, we always have.
I had this type of situations, where I was, because like, I'll give you an example. Like when I was now at New Year's Eve, I was like with a certain girl and I wasn't talking to other girls, you know? And like basically I had like 30 girls there and I had some friends. And me, because I wasn't playing the game that night, I was simping on this bitch. I was her. I saw how everyone was doing, and I got angry because I was seeing girls on the phone. They were idiots, and I put them all in the group chat, and I was telling them like, bro, go talk to everyone, be a nice presence there, give them drinks, don't be an idiot. You know, guys don't see these things. They need to make the people feel good so they can come to the after party. You don't have to rush it. Like people are like, goes to a girl, gets rejected, don't talk to her. No, just be friends with her. She will come to the after party. Well, fuck after. It's okay. You don't have to rush everything.
And girls in the club, like so many girls where they're in the club, maybe they're talking to one other guy who's in the club, maybe you're in the club, they would fuck you and they like you, but they don't want this guy who they're also talking to, or he might be popular, or he might be somebody, where they're like, I just don't want him to know that I'm also fucking this dude. So it's like anything, like alone, you know, where they're comfortable, most things can happen. In the club, if you can't close anyway, does it matter? Like, it's not really worth kind of like, you know, making out so much and things like that also, because you can't close there. It's better to just wait, like you say, to the after party, because it's a different beast, right? Like the fore party is just the like warming you up, and the after party is kind of where everything kind of happens, right?
Yeah, and I have this approach. I'm just to be honest, I don't really give a fuck. Like, I just want to be friends with everyone. And then I know that even if I don't fuck a certain girl, she has some hot friends. She will come to the party. I want them there because this is the hardest thing in dating, is to have girls know you in real life. It's way easier. If we two go to some after party and you bring Kylie Jenner, even Kylie Jenner will laugh at our jokes, but we'll never get replies on Instagram from her. This is the problem. We don't know her in real life.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. But then if she runs around and she's like, oh, yeah, I was at Joe's party and he was a cunt. And then they're like, now she's important. The other girls are like, oh, okay, her opinion matters. So now I'm going to be more likely to think that he is actually bad. Because women, they always have those, like, the influencer types, like the girl who kind of runs a city, she might have like 1 million followers or something, and she's kind of important. The other girls look to her and they're like, this is the one that I would like to be. Maybe you're not going to fuck the girl who has 1 million followers, but maybe you don't have to. Because if she thinks that you're cool, fun, nice, they just feed you a bunch of girls, right? Like you're constantly getting access to the ones.
I like this situation recently with a girl with like 200K followers, stuff like this, that my soldier fucked. But like the thing was, had this bitch I was fucking that had lots of friends. Like, you know, there's a type of girls who were going out since they were in high school all the time, wasting time, and they just accumulated all these hot friends. And if you know these girls, and if you treat them okay, and if you're a funny guy, they will bring all their friends around. You know, someday brings this famous girl, and like just my soldier was there and like talked to her. But the thing is, if he only approached on Instagram, this bitch wouldn't. Who's the fuck is this guy with 1,000 followers? But like things happen in real life. That's why it's important to like, especially in the future, because with AI and all this bullshit, bro, it's crazy that I was thinking like, let's say you spend money now and you go to Miami, take some pictures, and you look like a millionaire. In 2 years, all the worms will swap your face with AI. Everyone will be in Miami, in Saint Tropez.
And photos and shit they'll be holding up, being like, "Oh yeah, Joe, like, do you know this chick? Like, I fucked her as well." And you're like,
yeah.
This chick, did you? And they're like, "Yeah, see this video? I did this to her as well, and I did this," and it'll just be bullshit. But no one will really know, right? A lot of that shit.
I think. What do you think about this? I think in the near future we'll be back to the real life conversations and stuff like this, because AI will ruin everything. And bro, even now I know worms that I know a worm will like put his face on a private jet and he's like profile picture is him on a private jet. He's never been with private jet, but it looks very realistic because he's with the IT bullshit. And you can fake everything. It's like the bitch is fake, how they look, everything is fake, but in real life it's different. You know?
I think so too. I think streaming is going to kill podcasts, right? Like watching podcasts, watching like, you know, like Rogan, even the Tate stuff. Like Tate's a very good speaker and that, but to me, that stuff is boring now. Not because he's bad and not because he's not good, but it's just boring. I rather see like dynamic streaming. Like I want to see like a little bit of dopamine. Like give me something. I don't want to listen to any more like masculinity talking because I don't care. Like a lot of that stuff is, again, it's cool. You got to go to the gym. You got to, train boxing or do something, right? Everyone gets that. But I want it like some dopamine, like give me some excitement. If you want to keep me entertained, give me something rather than they're talking about, you know, politics or history or something. Because, I mean, that stuff it's not exciting, right? I already know enough. I don't want to.
Already has been talked about like a lot of times, you know?
Like Clavicula, guys like that, like where they just sit and talk, that dynamic podcast. Like if you were to stream going to the club and you do a stream, and that's exciting. Like it's fun, right? Versus to sit and do like, you know, like just a traditional podcast on something. I think that stuff will go. And like you say, the AI software and things, you'll be able to like replicate it and they'll be able to reproduce you to do this. But reproduce.
This is how I blew up in Romania a few years ago, bro. Like everyone was doing podcasts about masculinity. I did podcasts with whores. They were on drugs and drunk and talking about dicks and talking about like sucking dick and talking about.
That's you know? What people want to hear, right? But also like that's real. Like I want to hear real. I want to hear a girl where she talks and she's not ashamed to be like, you know, I do like to fuck. Maybe I got fucked by 2 dudes. Because a lot of the dudes don't know that the girl that they're dating might have been fucked by 2 dudes. Like they don't know because they never seen the girl actually have like an organic conversation. She's just wearing a mask to not lose them. But I like it when it's just real, like a chick just talking. If she's a whore, she's a whore. But if she's like, she's not, she's not. But she's just comfortable with who she is. With guys too. A lot of the podcasts is like, I don't want anyone to make me look bad, therefore I'm not going to say anything that could make me look bad. And it's just like, it's quite fake. Whereas streaming is hard to fake. Yes, you can have like, you know, the girls who come in, obviously it's kind of staged. They're clout chasing. You've got advantages, things like that, but it's still real. And now you see some of these like autistic people, they don't do very well in the streams because they're not fun. They might be great to talk for hours and hours and hours on a live stream. But as soon as it gets real and it flows and the girls are there and you don't know the girls, and it's very hard to keep up because
it's definitely like people like in Romania, for example, the most famous guys are the ones who do like TikTok live and they just argue there and talk. It's like streaming, it's live, you know. People fuck with this. They have many
guys who do dances and shit, and then they're fucking more girls than the guys who sit back and dress in suits and do all of the bullshit, right? I know so many like that. I know so many guys who just like look like nothing. Like they walk around, maybe they have a belly, maybe they're skinny, and they're fucking the best girls. And then I know guys who live in the gym, they're really serious about it. They're really keeping the masculine frame and all that. They get nothing. Because the girls, like you say, fun, like, you know, you are who you are. You're not in the gym all the time. You're not worried about meal prep. You can drink. If you want to have a bender, you can have one. It's just like you have to be down for fun. And a lot of that like gym routine, it's not fun. Like, oh, I'm in the gym. I can't eat this. I can't do this. I can't do that.
Yeah,
So
I
excited.
think this works if you want to become better financially, because I realistically think most people, if they actually knew what dating means and all this, takes a lot of time. You're tired, drink, all this bullshit. It's very hard to make money if you make money
Yeah,
through a business and stuff like this. So people just like they are better off, most of them, with like one chick and like being
yeah.
serious, because it maximizes the chances you actually make money. In periods of your life you need
Did
this.
you do that when you started? Like when you were starting out, you did that, or
Yeah, yeah, I did this. Like I had
yeah,
a relationship since 17 to 24, and I
yeah,
opened my first webcam studio and all this shit. Then I started a relationship with a webcam girl who's
yeah.
also serious, living in the studio, working all the time.
Still
And to be
work.
honest, I started like partying a lot. You know why I started partying? Because I became friends with the Tates, and they were going every weekend to the club, and I saw them with a new bitch every weekend, and I felt like I'm missing out. I felt like, bro, I just came 2 weekends with the same bitch. I'm where motherfucker am I doing? So I
I hope
just
it's right.
stepped up my game on this,
Yeah,
and I realized I enjoy it. Also enjoy it.
yeah. It's really good because you've known them a long time, right? Like the Tates, you would have seen them before they were famous. Is it true? Like before they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
really
yeah, before,
like
yeah.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah, like
and
I
now,
met them in beginning of 2019,
yeah. So they
before
would
they
have been like kind of just like lower mid level, right? Like they wouldn't have even really been famous. They would have just
No,
been
they
kind
weren't they weren't famous, but they had the right type of popularity.
of,
Like they were
yeah,
known in the good circles in the city, and they were very smart in how they approach people and situations. They were respected. Nobody would fuck around. Nobody. They
yeah,
didn't have no conflict, and they were
yeah,
they already have like good money, so they were
yeah.
already superior to the Romanians and stuff like this.
Yeah,
Like
they're
when I was
already.
going out with them in the beginning, the club owners come say hello. They weren't like some bullshit table, They were good level.
Yeah, so they already knew the game as well because they're very good
Yeah,
at networking as well, which is good. And they have each other, I think, because they have the two brothers. They look out for each other. I think it's important. I think it's harder to do things like alone, yeah, like solo.
definitely.
You have to wake up and you have to have your own back and you have to meet new people and do all of the shit. I think it's easier if you have a brother who's exactly the same and you can just kind of have each
Yeah,
other's
but
back.
these guys who have brothers, they're all like arguing with the brothers,
Yeah, true.
most
All
of the
that
time.
shit, right? Yeah, it's true. But yeah, so what else are you doing like generally for you now? What for work and things like that? You run group, yeah? Like a dating and
Now I'm
webcam.
just
Yeah.
now I'm running a webcam program. Yeah,
Yeah.
now I'm running a
Yes.
webcam program. This is the
Yeah.
online shit I'm doing right now.
Yeah. How's
Yeah.
all
How
that stuff?
about you? I saw something you're with streaming.
Yeah, we're launching a streaming
Oh, this-
platform. It'll have adult as well. So it's Soulstake TV. It's a streaming platform. We've actually been talking to a bunch of streamers. We've onboarded No Jumper, so we've got them coming on the streams. That's one partner that we can
So
discuss at
they
the
will
moment.
only stream there, or just they will appear?
Multi and one with us. So it'll be multi, and then they'll also do one exclusive with us as well,
Okay.
likely for a few weeks. But
So what's the goal? To be like Kick?
yeah, the goal is to be like Kick, but essentially we have so you can gamble on the platform. So it's essentially a streaming platform on live peer, no censorship. So you come in, it's PG-13. If you KYC, so you do your KYC, it can be adult, but you can also iGame, so it has a casino in it as well. And then yeah, you can run it like you can upload content, you can do one-on-ones, you can upload like videos, so you can run it kind of like OF. It's chatting, it's a community, and then webcam, but it's much cheaper. And I think Chatterbait's like 40 or 50%. Ours is 20. We keep
Okay.
20% of the tips, and we don't custody funds, so it's instant settlements and no minimums. But and also you can likely do more on our streams, and the idea is so people can podcast or stream. If the girl wants to be in a bikini, she can be. It's still PG-13. I think it will be a better product once it's kind of delivered. We have to deliver the traffic as well. And some of the streamers, I actually have a funny story. So I was setting up to deal with streamers and sign a few deals. So we had a famous streamer. I won't say who it is today, but one of the top 5 streamers in the world. Had a chat with him, and this guy middleman the deal. So I went to sign him for an agreement that he would stream with us for a year. And there was a guy who did the introduction. He was an American guy. And he fucking changed one of the wallets. So imagine that I was to send crypto. I thought I was sending crypto to this famous streamer. And then he changed one of the wallet addresses. So he actually fucking stole like over 100K of cash off
Crazy.
me. Yeah, it's fucking.
And how you deal with? You cannot do shit, right?
I
Change the
got
name.
half back. But yeah, I already have like the guy's address and things like that. But the worst thing is, it's kind of like it's you throwing good energy and good money after bad, right? Like it's good
Yeah.
money. And when people are kind of, like you say, like kind of worms, they're used to being a worm. Like they know how to get away. They kind of scurry around. They know that like they scam you, but then they'll still go to the police. They're kind of like really wormy like that. So that was one of the things that we had. But yeah, we've signed a fair few streamers and also signed webcam for adult as well. I think it'll be
when it will start. Like it's already online, or when
it's not launched, but the streaming component is finished. We just have to launch the gaming because we're building the games from scratch. So we'll build the games over the next 6 to 8 weeks, and it'll be launched in March. And I'll show you once it's launched, and I think that it'll be good. The issue is just going to be traffic. So some of the girls, if we're bringing them over,
issue in everything, the traffic.
Yeah. So some of the girls, when we bring them over, we're just guaranteeing them a minimum. Like imagine a minimum amount of tips, just until they're comfortable with the platform, rather than because I don't like anything free. Like I don't like to like make someone feel uncomfortable and promise them, oh, come with us and you'll make all of this money, and then they stream once and they're like, you wasted my time. So we're just doing like a minimum amount of kind of a retainer, which depends on who it is that they are. And we're also signed like quite a big adult creator from OF, which is I think like maybe top 20 in the world. So I think they can headline the adult side and also help affiliate with that sort of stuff. So I think that it'll do well. And
so you're focusing on this and also on the crypto right now, mostly, right?
Yeah, mostly on this.
Bro, I saw a short form with you where you're saying something with like mushrooms in the jungle. What happened? You take mushrooms? Can you tell us like more about this? Because I never.
Yeah, I did a boga, so it's similar to mushrooms, I guess. Kind of similar to ayahuasca. I went. Okay. I'll tell you the full story. So me and some friends were in my apartment in Warsaw, and we had DMT. I don't know if you've ever seen it, dimethyltryptamine. It's like something that you smoke, and it's like a psychedelic. And we smoked DMT together. It was me and 3 girls. We smoked DMT together. And then I smoked it the second time. First time I saw like, kind of saw some good visuals, things like that. I smoked it the second time with the girls all together. And then I like smoked it once, took a big amount in. Then I took even more in. And you kind of like take off as though you left your body. Like you kind of feel like it's like an out of body experience. And then I felt like I was like a rocket taking off into orbit. And then I felt this big hand like grab me and then pull me in and then be like, stop fucking around with DMT. Like stop messing around with these psychedelics. Like they're serious. And then it's like, you need to come back when you like take these serious. And then it's like, it sort of explain like, why don't you take these girls off to do like, a boga or ayahuasca? Yeah. And then it threw me back down. And then I stood back up. And within 10 seconds, all of the like DMT, everything had worn off. And then I decided at that moment, like spoke to the girls and I was like, oh, we should do ayahuasca. And then they're like, yeah, it'd be good. And I was like, yeah, we'll all go do ayahuasca. And then it ended up, we did a boga. And I asked the girls to come with me to Costa Rica. And one of them came, the others canceled. And then we went over there. So Costa Rica, we went out to the jungle. It was Awaken Your Soul. That's what the fucking place was called. And then we went out to the jungle. First time that we took a boga. And then one of the girls took it. And I saw like the craziest shit when I took it. And then one of the girls the next day, I had to get an IV drip. So like an IV because I was vomiting like 20 times or something beforehand. My blood pressure was really high. I asked the girl if she wanted to get like an IV with me. She's like, no. And then I said to her, I'm like, make sure that you don't leave camp. Because earlier she was really paranoid. She's like, I think that they're trying to keep me here. Like something's going to happen. She's still fucked up on a boga. And I was like, oh, you'll be fine. Just stay around the people. And then I got the IV, went to sleep, passed out because I've been up for like 24 hours on a boga. And then they wake me up at like 9 or 10 at night. And they're like, oh, Blanca, like the girl that you were with, she's missing. And one of the other girls that come with me, she's like, the girl's missing. And then I was like, she's dead. Like she's missing in the jungle, right? Like the jungle where if you step out, there's like vines and trees and it's pitch black and it's like really dense.
And they found her body.
Yeah, so what happened was, they brought search and rescue in, and then they fucking they found her body. They dragged her out of the river, and she was dead from. They said that she went down a waterfall and then slipped and fell into the river.
Did you have any problems with your family and shit when you get back?
I had to call them. Yeah, I called her mom straight after.
How the fuck was this conversation with the mom?
It wasn't good because the mom was kind of like not really believing it. As you would, right? Like calling her up and being like, your daughter's fucking dead. Like,
yeah, of course.
Right? She's dead, right? And then, her mom didn't believe it. But then her mom was just really forgiving. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, it's kind of my fault that you come here. And I could have watched over her better. And then, yeah, her mum's like, oh, I forgive you. You know, it is what it is. And then I had to fly her body back. But the guy who ran the retreat, he was trying to get rid of the body. It was such a mess because he's like, I don't want them to know that there was a boga here because you're not meant to do it. Like, you're not meant to do a boga in the city. So he was trying to get rid of it, like incinerate the body. I was trying to get it back to Poland. And I had to pay like $15K in Bitcoin, like $15,000 in Bitcoin just to get her body back before they incinerated it. And then I had to send it over to Poland. And it was, I don't know how much it cost, maybe like $50,000 to get her back. And then, yeah, it was a complete mess. And then
spend a lot of money on this.
Yeah, more, yeah, probably like 80K to get all of the shit sorted. And then after, and one of the other girls, so I took 3 girls with me. One of them died there, and then one died a few months after.
Why?
I don't know. I guess for likely suicide. Crazy, right? Both 23. Wow. But that stuff, like
why
this,
do people do these psychedelics? Like, what's the reason in your mind? Like, how the fuck? Why don't you do cocaine? Why do this?
Conor McGregor did recently. I think he did the iboga as well. I began, but I don't know. I think it's like anything. Like, people just want to push the envelope, and some things that you push is not good. Yeah, like you push for more. And sometimes you push too far, right? Kind of like any drugs, right? Like most drugs can be fun. You take coke, it's fun. But if you take too much, it's not fun anymore. Kind of like
we had like problems with drugs in the past, like
I was thinking, for coke for a lot of times, especially even in Warsaw and places like that. That's why I like to get away from it for a while. It's easy to slip back into it. Yeah, like I like to take stuff. Maybe I take stuff once a week. Maybe I take stuff once every 2 weeks. But then it's easy to be like, I've got time. I can take it a few times a week if I want, and I can do this and I can do that.
Yeah, I see this like with my friends. They're telling me like, yeah, bro, if I like everyone like. Actually, like recently, a girl I knew took cocaine for the first time, you know? And I asked her, how do you feel? And she was saying like, she said like this, I felt like I was with Future in Miami in some penthouse. But in reality, I was with you guys. And like basically from what I understood, it amplifies the experience. Yeah. And then you feel everything is boring.
Yeah. And some people is like, some people just get addicted, right? Like some people just try it for the first or second time and they just love it. Like they're completely in love with it. Others can try stuff like weed. I could smoke weed. I mean, I think I've done it once or twice in my life. I don't like it. Some people love it. It's just kind of like what it is. Some people drink. I like drinking kind of, but I don't love it. But then I see people where they drink and they're like, I just love alcohol. It's kind of like, there's just always something that someone has that they fucking just kind of, some people it's sex, right? Some guy can fuck and he has a girlfriend. He just wants to fuck her all day. He's like, oh, I just love sex. Like I just can't stop. And then others is like, I don't care. I can fuck it like every few days. It doesn't really worry me. It's kind of like everyone.
Evil comes like attacks you. Yeah, everyone has a vulnerability. Like for example, me, bro. I'm totally honest with you. I never have this desire to take drugs. I don't give a fuck. Like me, I bought drugs for people. I did all this bullshit. But never in my life think I should take cocaine. But not because it's a decision. I never said to myself like, I wish I was Tony Montana, but I don't feel like doing it. Like in my mind. I don't know, maybe I have, and also I feel like me personally, I'm always the type of guy who does get sick, all this bullshit. Like all my life I've been like this. I'm not the type, like I have friends who are like, they can take drugs, wake up, they don't give a fuck. Or I see these, especially for girls, the reason girls take drugs is they only take drugs and fuck. They don't do anything else. As a man, you wake up, the depression, because you have things to do, have responsibilities, you wasted 24 hours.
You're paying for all the shit you have to organize it, you have to do all of the deal with all
exactly. You have all the other shit to do.
Problems, if any like arguments happen, or everything's heightened, right? Like with the chick and she takes drugs, everything is exaggerated. So it's a good thing to avoid it. And I always try, like if I have a chick, I always try to keep her away from that shit. Because women
me personally, I was never the type to allow a girl that never took drugs to take drugs in my presence. Like only the girls who are like this. Not some new
the ones who have started, right? Yeah, the ones who are already down. That's one thing. It's like kind of like anything. I think it's a mature thing to be, because I think it's like there's kind of a special place, maybe even in hell, if you get like an 18-year-old and you push her into that stuff, because then you see it like a year or two after her life is like completely fucked, right? Like could be dating dealers. She can be like fucking, I don't know, proper prostitution because she can't afford it. Like you got her down that, you gave it to someone, and you're like old enough and smart enough to know that it was a really bad decision, right?
I think drugs is like fucking up, especially like men and women, but like even women, they, like you said, fucking with dealer, fucking with these whores in Bucharest. You know what? They're just text guys on a random Monday at 4 a.m. Like, oh,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Blah
Can I
blah.
get this? I want to see you. What are you doing? And they text like
Uh,
10 guys, and eventually someone's partying, even if it's a Wednesday, and they just go over there.
yeah. And if you say yeah, come, she says like yeah, but can you talk? Can you get me some Xanax? I want to sleep.
Oh,
You know?
Xanax is the worst, bro. I get that sometimes too, and I'm always like, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh, because she's so high. She's been with some guy for like the whole night, or she's hanging out with guys. She's really high, and now she's like, oh, I want to sleep. I want to stop.
Yeah.
I want to come down. It's horrible.
Bro, there's girls who cannot sleep without this bullshit. Like I know many
Xanax
girls.
is bad. Xanax is bad for girls. It's really addictive.
I think they like it because the first time, like I had the friend who took for the first time, and he explained to me. He was saying like, "Bro, I get the best sleep." I was like, it calms you down from the cocaine. You wake up. It's the best sleep in your life. But once you take it more and more, it becomes like shit.
Yeah, and the girls like they I think they have anxiety anyway, so they like the idea of just like feeling completely flat, like calm, chill. But it's so addictive because then after they feel more anxiety and more worse. But
I think even in Romania, drugs are a big thing. I cannot imagine like Miami or all this bullshit. I was talking to a friend. He was saying like, bro, don't tell girls come for a drink or come to drink because they make fun of you. Just send them a snap with some cocaine.
They say you're a nerd or something, right?
Too retarded. Everyone takes drugs. They're too retarded. You know.
True. That's the thing. Like girls that are into drugs. It's like for the first 3 to 6 months, they can be fun and it can still be cool. And the she's still cool. She's hot. Maybe she's still sexy. But then once they get properly into it, they start meeting a bunch of dealers. They start meeting a bunch of criminals. I don't have any money. Who can I kind of fuck over or ask for money or scam or do shit? Then you start to get like the worst kind of them, right? Because they start hanging out with scumbags. And
even
women
these broke guys who take drugs, bro, they're unreliable. They the scam dealers, all this bullshit, these worms, you know?
Drama, right? They always owe someone money or they got problems or they got some bullshit. The guys are the worst. The guys are the worst of like, girls will be like, guys always say like girls are around rich guys and use rich guys. There's a lot of guys that do the same. They're the worst. Like a guy who's like sucking your balls because you have a table and he's like, Vlad, can you like do this for me or do that? Or like, you're the man. Can you help me with this? You're paying for everything, right? And they add like no value. And then they shit talk you.
Yeah, this happens all the time. Like I think at a certain point you cannot avoid like people don't understand. Like for me, I didn't know this before being rich because before I was rich, I was thinking like, bro, if I make 10K a month, I'm very rich. And then you realize when you make money, you have all these responsibilities. Pay the bitch rent, you have to pay for these guys around you. All these things cost, you know? You have to keep this soldier fed, you have to do all this bullshit, and it costs like
security, like you got to pay other things. Nothing's free, you got to pay, you got to tip. They don't even see it because the tips are the shit that's on top, right? And the girl's like, even if she has some bullshit like nails or hair, like a girl you're dating and guys like, oh, I don't want to pay for her hair. Well, you're going to have an ugly woman because that shit's expensive. Like girls like, I got to do my nails, my hair, gym, good food. That's like expensive for women, right? Like all that shit costs money. And then if she's like, oh, I want tits done or surgery or this, who's she going to like? Either you're going to pay it or some other man's going to pay it. So
either you're going to pay it or another man or she becomes a whore.
Yeah, that's right. And that's kind of the saying. I think that if it's your girl, you can pay for stuff because there's guys that don't want to pay anything, right? Like they dream of getting a girl and not even paying for dinner. Or I don't want to pay for shit. My girl can do everything for me.
I think after a certain age, you need to like take this into consideration. You know,
you take that serious.
Even the age of the girl, bro, because it's different. Like when you date, but me, I'm 33 now.
Yeah.
I date girls who are like 20, 19. Every girl nowadays is after over 20, 21. They already finished even university. They either have to have a job or a boyfriend or something going on. You know, you're not in high school anymore.
If they have a job, they work for a man usually too anyway, right? And a lot of the jobs now is just, I have a job because some guy's trying to fuck me. Like if the girl's hot, she's like, oh yeah, I'm an assistant. My boss is this guy. And my boss wants to fly me over to like, take me here or do something here. And you're like, your boss just wants to fuck you. Like that's your job is just because you're hot and people are trying to get access to you.
Bro, all the girls I ever dated, they were doing internship like some dentist or some lawyer. Every guy
Married
wants to fuck.
man, yeah, some married man that's just playing the very long game, trying to fuck it. And the girl
But actually, it's the best thing to do because it's the smartest thing to do. These guys are not like, imagine some lawyer. He's not an alpha. He's alpha contextually in his business. When he goes out the house, he's some worm. Like, imagine a lawyer coming in front of me and like being a G. He's not a G. He's a bullshit lawyer. You know how people overestimate lawyers. Lawyers wake up in the morning, they're worms, do all these papers, blah, blah. But in the office with their employees, interns, blah, blah, they just fuck them, man. Bro, to be honest, when I'll be like in my 50s, 60s, things like this, I will also want a business where I just meet girls by default. Like I just want some cool restaurant and all the hot bitches come there and I say like, stay here, everything you need, we provided.
Come in the back, like let's just have we have a private spot at the back for all of the top customers and you can come and hang out.
Yeah, I think or you can come for free. Like all these guys, there's guys in Bucharest with like restaurants and clubs that do this and they're like in their 60s and they fuck more girls than me. It's a very good game, to be honest.
Yeah, it's fine. I get it. And then both sides winning and the girls probably just keeps it quiet, right? So I do get it, especially these guys who have a reputation. They can't just be at a party and fucking girls if you're a lawyer, because then there's might be a risk, right? Like someone might get a photo of you. So, the little sneaky shit where you're at a party and you're a bit drunk and someone makes a video or does some bullshit or something.
Do you think it's an age for a man where it's cringe to go to the club?
I think for me, I'm 40 now and I feel like it's getting cringe. 40
you feel it, right?
Yeah, I feel it. I felt it when I got to about 37 or something. I feel it. Even if you're like, I'm this, I have the tables, I have the best everything. It gets kind of cringe, I think.
But what's the difference? Because you're 8 years older than me. Like, what advice do you have for your 33-year-old self? Like, what's the difference when you reach like 40, 41?
I would just think to just have the more experiences, like have more crazy experiences, get all of that stuff in, because the future's not guaranteed. I think that life is to be collecting experiences, like you say, like you can lose it all tomorrow. You can be the king of the world today and then tomorrow something can happen, and then you look back and you're like, will you sit there and be like, oh, I wish I had have invested in this and that? Yeah, you have your investments, but time and youth is finite. I think that's the best thing, because I think life, as I get to 40, it's collecting experiences, the things that you think about when you're sitting on your own and you're like, I've never regretted a night out. I've never regretted, having fun or being around people, even if you look back and you're like, was it a good use of my time? But is sitting at home scrolling the internet a good use of your time? Probably not. So it's good to do the real life experiences, I think. But working.
Sometimes I think like, bro, maybe I wasted, because I'm thinking that after a certain number of girls you fucked, you just end up repeating the same shit. This is also an angle worth talking about, because you fuck a certain amount of girls and then you're again with the 19-year-old who just broke up with her first boyfriend. Like, you see the same pattern, you see it again, it's the same shit.
Same conversation, right? Like you can kind of see it how it's going, and you're like, it kind of goes exactly the same again and again and again. And I also find like dopamine when you're with a girl is like a rubber band. So if you start doing like, I don't know, threesomes with chick, you have 2 girls, now it's stretched, and that can become more your normal. So if you just have a normal chick, or you're with a normal 18-year-old and she's a nice girl, it's boring, right? She's boring. You're with her and you
I saw you talk about this when you said like, it's not necessarily a good thing to have sex with as many girls as possible, because you'll end up with your mind fucked. And nobody talks about this. Yeah, it's true.
I believe it's probably happened to me, because I've had some crazy things where I be with a chick and now I'm just like, even if it's more traditional, or she's a great girl, and she can be, I'm like, oh, she's a great girl, but it gets boring. Like I need something.
Doesn't turn you on. She's not kinky. All this bullshit. Yeah.
If you're fucking, I'm like, I need something. Like at least start talking about your friend or something. Like,
yeah.
I need something here, which is good, but then also it's toxic for the girl. Like if she doesn't have a lot of experience, it's nice and it's fun, but it's not fun to do that to chicks all the time, because then you sometimes like a nice 20-year-old and you can drag her through that, and then like, it doesn't really do them that much good. So that's what I would have for guys as well, is that if they go too far down one way, kind of like anything, right? Like tattoos. If you go too far down one look, you can never go back and be like, oh, I'm just, I want to wear suits and be a nice guy and run around and like, you know, be like this and like that. You have to commit to it, right? If you want to fuck 100 girls, you got to commit to the idea that if you want to now be like, oh, I want to have a wife or I want to have a normal relationship, it's going to be conscious work all the time. Like you're going to always have to focus on actually, you know, being with the chick and being able to, you know, be around if you want to have kids around and, you know, you don't want to be
I
cheating.
don't think it's actually like it's very possible, because what I think is like, for example, this is the reason why all these celebrities are like swingers and like retarded, because you cannot be a normal person. You know,
No.
this is what I think. They all have mistresses. It's not like, how can somebody believe that Jay-Z and Beyonce just sit together for 25 years, never fuck nobody?
Yeah, it's
Beyonce
true. Right?
only fuck Jay-Z. It's not possible, you know?
It's true. And people are like, you would see it. You go to parties, you go to places, and you see a lot of stuff too that you can't unsee. Like I've seen so many guys where you're with a chick and the girl seems like an amazing girl. And then, you know, it's some guy brought her to a party and she seems like the nicest girl in the world. And then suddenly she's DMing you at like 3 or 4 a.m. being like, oh, you should come and see me. You should do this. And then you see certain things where you're like, you know, people's true colors. Like I'm not saying all girls are like that, but all girls are kind of the same.
I think like life doesn't make no sense, because if you're with a girl and you're a good, normal person, she can start like being retarded. If you're retarded with her, she can be obsessed. It doesn't make no sense. Doesn't have no, you know?
She's like us, right? Like women is kind of feel first. And I think once you go through those dopamine high excitements, you're addicted to the feeling, right? Like sex is just another part of the feeling. You need the emotion, like you need the high emotion, drama, you know, a bit of chaos. It all adds together versus just, oh, this chick's got nice tits and I fuck her and I'm happy to be with her and all of this. I think the more that you move down it, it's harder. You're like, I want 2 girlfriends. I want 2 girlfriends in the same room. I want 2 girlfriends that hang out all together all the time and I fuck both all the time, transparently. You know, you want to push it further and further and further all of the time. And I like the idea of, you just can be who you are rather than try to be like, you know, I want to get married and I have this girl from the village and I tell her that she's the only one and I don't want to ever cheat, and cheaters are fucking weak. And like, that's most guys, right? Like a lot of guys is they're with a chick, they're not happy, they want to fuck other girls, but they can't tell her because she'll leave them.
Yeah, the first thing that in order to cheat nowadays, I think it's expensive, first of all. Yeah. Like I think it's most guys are forced to be with one girl because it's very expensive. It's the most expensive sport to waste time to talk to bitches. Even if you're like, some guys put like assistants to DM girls, still have to talk, still have to waste time, still have to do all this shit. It's expensive. You need to, you know, it's easy to do it. Let's say if you're a guy who has money from his parents in university. Yeah. But as an adult, when you have all these responsibilities and people you have to take care of, you actually need money to do all this bullshit. And nowadays, girls, they see all these TikToks. And bro, I don't know, maybe if I meet certain types of girls, but I think society is changing. Like nowadays, girls, if you cheat on them, you actually need to do something to like buy some flowers, at least, vacation. Like all these guys who actually cheat, they have money and they can pay for it. And it's like... if you have money, girls don't really care, you know, because I cheated on a girl, but take her to Dubai, and then she thinks, at least I go there, take pictures for Instagram, because everyone is shallow and they want to do all these vacations. Everyone is obsessed with the materialistic shit, you know.
I think it's hard because you also have where you cheat on a girl and she cries and she's really upset. That's a good sign because she actually cares about you, right? When you cheat on a chick or she finds out or she's like, you know, you're fucking other girls and she doesn't really care much, she's kind of like, I find that's because the love's gone. Like love is a big thing. Like if a girl loves you, she's going to cry. Like she's going to be upset. She's going to be more protective or possessive or jealous, all of these things, because she actually cares, right? Not just about your money or your status or your this. She actually likes you, right? She doesn't want to lose you. Whereas others, they're kind of like, I don't want to lose what he does for me. I don't want to, but the love angle is kind of is going out the window.
I think the money stuff, people think like if you have money, like girls like you for money. But what I noticed is maybe you get their attention because you have money, but then they start messing around with you and then they fall in love. Like even these girls you see that are 20 and they're with like guys who are much older, they generally love those guys. They generally care. It's not like only for money.
Yeah, I think it's true. But what do you think? Like, I've gotten to a certain age where I think now the gap is too big. Like, if I'm with 18 or 19-year-old, I don't feel good. I feel like there's something off. Like 40 years old, I think the gap is too wide because now it's not. You don't have anything.
I started feeling it a bit as well because
there's nothing in common, and you kind of feel like you almost become her dad, like not daddy, but almost somewhat like her dad. You kind of like, you feel like there's this too big of a gap. Like she's kind of like youth, you know, like she's
bro.
18.
This is the transition I made in the last few years. So what I noticed is in the past I had girlfriends where I was like the stupid one that they would tell me, Vlad, stop doing this, you're ruining your life, stop drinking. Now I'm just the bullshit dad, and I have to be the voice of reason with these younger chicks. This is fucked up a little bit, you know, because I'm not used to.
Yeah,
in my 20s, I was the kid that I was retarded, and my ex-wife was saying like, "You're too stupid. You should save more money. You're wasting money on this horse." Now I'm with girls, and they're pushing me to waste more money and saying, "No, you should go on more vacations to do this." And I have to be the father who says like, "You will understand when you're older. Money is not easy to obtain." It's bullshit, you know. It's a little bit
protect their reputation and shit, right? Because they do shit, and you kind of like. You know, you got to think a bit better. Like, what are you going to do in a few years? Like, you're going to fuck your whole life up here. You find yourself kind of moving down to that dad role where you see a chick and you're like, stop doing this bullshit. Like, what are you doing with your life?
For real. Like in the past, I was going to the club with some woman and some girl. And I was stupid and I was starting a fight. Now, recently I went out with a girl and she saw another girl I was hanging out with. She spit on her in the club, there. And I have to be like the voice of reason guy. Yeah. So like from the guy who was stupid, always arrested, now I have to be
normally just laughing.
Even with my younger friends, I have to be like this because they're retarded and it's kind of weird. But like I think this is the way life goes.
Right? You grow into a certain age, I think 30s, and then you get to 40 where you kind of like, I guess you just become more of the dad, right? You sit back and you realize the mistakes you could make, right? Like a girl might, I don't know, hit a girl and she might hurt the girl and it just fucks you over, right? She hits her with a shoe or some shit, but she could easily just do something, fuck her life up, hits a chick with a bottle. Like, you don't know. Girls don't realize like violence and things, or she could do something and then some guy punches her. You don't know, right? Like some women start fights and then they don't know how to do anything. Like they've never seen any sort of, and it can go really bad.
Yeah, I'm also retarded and I always like, I don't know, draw in my life women who start fights even with me. Don't know why. Yeah, like, I know lots of women who like start instigated fights and like started doing violence, you know, in the relationship, in the house and stuff like this. Like happened to me lots of times.
Yeah.
So I think I also had like the women who are like, there's women who are the type you shout at them and they just like, oh sorry, blah blah. And there's women you shout at them and there's like fucking loser and they start talking all this bullshit.
Or they like, you know, they start on you, sometimes.
Yeah. Start it, and then you have a little MMA fight, and then you fuck.
Yeah, that's right. And then you're like, you know, she pushes you, or you push her back, and then it goes nowhere, right? Like it's always escalation. Then after you kind of like, fuck.
I don't think this is healthy necessarily.
No. I think it's toxic, and there's levels of toxic that I think is necessary with girls. Like you have to be a little bit toxic because they need that spike, like that emotional spike has to be there. Like you say, they get bored. I think that's a part of it, but the other stuff, it's a race to the bottom with women.
Well, how do you see dating for you, let's say in your 40s and stuff like this? Because you like you said, like, if you date some 18-year-old, it's like too big of a gap. It's weird. You see like dating 25-year-olds now, or like how you see it?
I like probably 23 to 25, even like, but honestly, like 23 to 28 for me, because I'm 40, right? I always thought like 28 would be getting too old, but some girls are still really hot, like at that age, like even up to 30, some girls like look after themselves and they're still ultra hot, right? Even after that.
I was talking to a girl who was like 28 and she was saying, like, I was making fun of her, like, you're too old, blah, blah. And she was saying, Vlad, you're fucking 17-year-olds who are more whores than me. They have more bodies than me. It's true. Like, there's girls who start fucking from 15. They're 18 and they already fucked 20 guys. And there's girls who are 25 and they have 2 relationships. You never know.
Especially now, because I think like you get on and you just like the dopamine, right? Like it's easy to just, you're on Tinder, maybe they're on the apps. I don't like all of that shit because I think you just get the bottom rung chicks, right? Get chicks who give you like fucking STDs and shit. Like they fuck everyone. I don't like the girls who fucking a girl and she fucks like everyone, right? She'll fuck you, then she'll fuck fucking like, I don't know, fucking black dudes. Like she fucks everyone. Like anyone who's not like you, like she fucks the whole city. She can fuck
they're more susceptible of this if they're on drugs and if they're
Yeah,
party
they
girls.
fuck
Like if a
like
girl is like
everyone.
sober, yeah.
Yeah, like Australians, Polish, they don't care. They'll just fuck absolutely everyone, and that's kind of a shit
Do you
thing.
feel like you'll be able to like be with one woman, or you have periods when you're like you want to
I
be
have the
like more
periods.
hustler?
I have the periods there where especially when I'm working, I have the times where
Me
I try to
too.
work. It's easy
Yeah,
to
me
lock
too. Me too.
with one rather than to be like doing that because women is like it takes away a lot of work. If I
Yeah,
wasn't fucking girls, I would be 100 times as successful and rich as I am now,
yeah,
probably.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like
Like,
you said,
bro, I saw this with a good friend of mine. He was making like he was partying every weekend. He was making like 20, 30K, and when he moved with his girlfriend, made 200K. You know, like
okay,
he took business to another level. When
I've seen
you're
it with you
just
guys.
sitting, yeah,
And no drama from women. Like even if you're just texting, like I don't know, you're texting 5 girls, maybe 5, maybe 10, but during the day, like you just take your time off. Oh, I got to reply to these messages. It breaks your concentration. One of the girls has some
yeah,
bullshit, another girl has some other crap. Another few want to see you. They want to see you right now. You're just balancing a lot of shit, and then often you kind of like, when you go to prison or something like that happens, most of them just disappear. Like most
yeah,
of
bro.
them don't care.
Serious.
You can balance 20 girls and maybe if you get locked up, 2 or 3 give a shit. Like actually give a
Yeah,
shit to be like, I'm gonna try to, stick around. Most of it just fall and friends too, like most of the stuff just falls off if you go to prison. They only like you
yeah.
because you're the fun guy, like you had parties or they can talk to you, you're cool, you're this. But if you disappear for a bit, they're just like, I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah,
It's
me
this.
personally, bro, when I want to be like more serious, what I do is like I tell the girl I'm with, let's say, to move or to stay with me more time, because also I feel like when you're living by yourself or with your friends and you're partying all the time, you're doing bullshit, you're having girls over, all this stuff, and also you don't really know what the girl you're with or the girls are doing.
Yeah.
So they're like thinking you're doing bullshit, all this stuff happening. They have doubts. And
Yeah.
me, I just get the girl inside the house to have her there. I have peace of mind. And then
And
I
then
can
she sees
focus
that you
on,
actually work and you actually do shit. You're not just partying
yeah,
every single day, right? Because they think that they don't see you enough, and then they actually
yeah.
start to be like, okay, now I can like care about this person. Because
Yeah,
otherwise, they kind
and
of
also
know, right?
like, yeah, and also I feel like me personally, if I have a girl in my place, if I want to work, I also I'm forced to not reply to the text at 12 a.m., like 12 p.m., like let's link up, all this bullshit. Because if I'm alone, I'm stupid. I cannot abstain. I get
And
some message. I'm
that's what,
Friday at home and
yeah,
get messages. And the
especially
bitches are
after.
the bitches. Yeah, the bitches are very crooks, and they tell me like, I'm with this girl and this girl, and tell me girls I like and I've never met, and I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck, just bring them over, if I'm
they're
alone.
smart. Yeah, they're smart. Or they're
Yeah,
like, like they're clever like that. And it's always the club finishes, so the club ends like 3 or 4. The text
yeah,
message at 4 o'clock. Oh, me and the girls want to come around. Like, are you like, especially if you're in the city, they're like, me and some
yeah.
girls want to come around. Like, are you still up? And then you're like in bed, but then you're like, fuck, I can get up and make some drinks or do something. I can make something work here if
Yeah.
it's like girls you like or something. But then it's just like the 4 o'clock runs to like the 7 o'clock, the 8 o'clock, and then suddenly you're like, fuck. Now it's
Fuck your
I,
day, yeah. Especially with these
I,
junkies. These junkies are also stay up until the next day.
and the young
And
girls, like if the girl's like 20, she recovers. Like how many girls I know, they sleep like fucking 3 hours and they're like, I'm completely fine. I'm
I
fucking
think I
40.
feel it, bro. I think I feel it as well because, bro, it's crazy. Like 5, 6 years ago, I could get drunk and then I could spar the next day, and I convinced my mind like, yeah, nothing happened. Now it's like the type who's, if I drink the next day, I have to be careful. Just don't. I cannot do shit. I'm doing 40% bare minimum
It's
tasks.
important, like sleep, right? Like you're with a chick and you can actually sleep. Like rather
Mm,
than you're with a chick and she doesn't sleep or she fucks around or she's like, I want to go to sleep at 2 or 3 a.m. And you're like, I want to sleep at 11 or 12 because I got shit to do.
yeah.
Some of the girls, or they're just bad
How
sleepers.
do you manage this like health optimization once you get over 30 or 40 and stuff like this? Like how do you see it?
Take,
Like you take
yeah,
TRT?
yeah, I take TRT. I take, but it's very small. I have 100 milligrams of test a week. So I take 100 milligrams of test D just once a week. At the moment, I just take sustenance. But then I sometimes have taken HGH. Sometimes I'll take that. So human growth hormone. Because once you hit 30, I think it deteriorates 1% a year for your whole life.
I can already feel it. I have to do my blood work.
And also,
I never took.
like,
I have to take.
the like recovery slower. You're less pumps in the gym. Tired. Wake up and you're kind of a bit more tired. You don't sleep as well. You need more sleep. You don't feel as good. Your skin and shit, you kind of feel like starting to get old. But when you have money, or you got to maintain all of that, and you may as well. Don't worry where people are like, oh, why would you take TRT? And most people do. They just lie about it, right? Like if you're 50 or 40 years old and you can pay a couple $100 a month to optimize your health, why wouldn't you? Right?
And TRTs, like my friends are taking, like testosterone is actually cheap compared to the supplements. Is way cheaper.
Fragments and all of the bullshit people take. You just got to be careful.
What supplements you take, bro? Like you have like a stack you're taking?
ALA, like alpha lipoic acid for my fucking liver and kidneys. I take NAC. It's another thing. Any like free thing that takes away free radicals, like inflammation stuff, that pulls away that crappy. Because I think like those free radicals can be like cause cancer or cause you to feel shit or cause inflammation that can cause other problems. And then I take like fish oil. I take creatine. I think you take 10 milligrams of creatine. It's good for your brain. I think it's good because for me, especially, if you had a hard life, like you would know, like going to prison, even if you do a month or 2 months or 3 months, it makes you older. Like any stress,
bro, like
court makes you fucking old. Like
my girlfriend was saying, like you age a lot. Like she was saying to me, like, yeah, bro, you age a lot.
Years of life, like there's no doubt. That stress of your heart, like going to court, even if in the back of your head you're like, I don't give a shit. Part of you is like, I could get in real shit here. Like I could get fucked here, And then it's that. It takes away from your heart, and I think it just makes you older. Like guys who go to prison, I've seen they do like 1 or 2 years, and they come out. It's like they've done 5 because everything sucks in there. The food is shit. It's stressful. You don't know what's happening. The other energy is really bad. Like the energy of the prisoners is not great. Usually they have problems or they're kind of junkies, and it rubs off on you because the environment is shit. And then
how many kilograms you have right now, bro? Like how much?
Would be probably 86 or 87 or something. I'm pretty skinny now because I haven't been focused on gaining weight. I think the older I get,
like 100 ever. Or what?
I used to be 110 or 120. I used to take heaps of juices.
Like when you were on big, like steroid, like lots of stuff.
I used to take like 500 milligrams of test a lot of the time and just blast through it. But I think now the older I get too, I'm not worried about that sort of stuff as much as I used to be, right? Like
worried about the health issue. Like healthy to feel good, right?
You get older and you realize, like, I mean, you have to hit a certain point too where you're not the man anymore. Like once you hit 40 or something, you go to the boxing gym. There's 20-year-olds who all of this energy, and you can't sit there and be like, "That's me." You're not Wolverine anymore. Like you're not recovering as fast. You go for a run. You want to stretch a little bit first. Like when you're young, you're like, "Fuck, this shit's gay. I don't need to stretch. Like I'm just ready."
Yeah, I don't need warm up when you're
Then you get older, you kind of like push, and then your back or something kind of fucks a bit, and you're like, "Fuck." Because you just.
How was the experience of having a professional boxing fight?
Yeah, I only had it's very amateur. My boxing match was just I've had 2 now, but they're just against beginners. Like I've never had. I consider myself just an okay beginner for boxing.
Yeah, but like you have in front of like people, cameras, like it was stress, right?
Yeah, some stress, but I don't have the stress because I'm lucky because I know that, like I know that even if I get knocked out, I still have friends. Like I know that even if someone like KO'd me in the middle of the ring and everyone laughed, I know I'm still like going to be loved by the people that love me. So I have a moving from a position of strength, you know what I mean? Rather than to be like, oh, I got KO'd and now like everyone hates me. I know I can go back to the locker room and I still have my friends there. We lost, but I'm going to like Tate, right? Like he lost, but he still has his friends. They're not sitting there like being like, I finally lost. You have like yourself.
I think you also, I have a feeling you also enjoyed it because it forced you to be sober and you can just train and you can make money and, and you can say no to distractions, right?
Then what do you think, like boxing training or training, like probably because you train quite a bit, it can be like it's mentally taxing or it's like, it also you're tired, you feel like kind of a bit exhausted. Like you go box, right? It's a big process because you're wet. You're like sweaty is different than just training in the gym. Like you get like wet, right? Like you sweat, you fucking
awesome. Like I feel like it's good because I feel like if you train for an actual fight like you did, like if I would accept the fight, I feel like I would say no to clubs and bitches and all this stuff. And also I could probably maximize the money I'm making because I'm just training, doing some work. I don't have hangovers.
Do you think you're going to do it or something? Because you do like kickboxing as well, right? Like you do more of the shit.
Yeah, I'll probably do it here. I like propositions for like
Yeah.
celebrity matches.
Yeah,
You know,
you should
I'll
do like
probably
like more an influencer thing, right? Like that.
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
But it's
cool.
good. Yeah, I enjoy the training when I don't know. It's a good feeling. I also feel good afterwards.
You're
But
training
it
a long time too.
depends how you do it. Because let's say if I have a day when I go to a gym and I know I'm sparring actually legit guys and like big guys and stuff like this, I'm stressed and I just go there and just get hit and stuff like this. But if I'm just doing it with my friends, like a more friendly way, it depends, you know?
Yeah.
When
Do
I
you
was
find
younger, like when I was doing the webcam studio, I was just doing webcam studio, like work all the time and training MMA and stuff like this. I was taking it more seriously because in my mind I was thinking like, yeah, I need to be combat ready. I'll beat people up, all this bullshit. But then I realized you don't really fight, and if you just
But you're
have a
still young.
conflict,
Yeah.
you just go with goons and beat people. Like it's good to
Yeah.
have it there, but it's not over. You cannot overestimate it. Then jerk off to this boxing.
Yeah. Do you find like with boxing, if you get hit a lot too inspiring, you kind of the next day you can kind of be like a bit off. Like someone talked to you, kind of like I forgot what you were saying for like 5 or it's kind of a bit scary, right?
True, yeah.
Like if you can't talk like this is easy if you're getting hit in the head a lot. I think
true,
as you get older.
You need people who are good, but at the same time they're smart. Because I even have like retarded friends who are younger, who they hit a guy, he's rocked, and then they insist with a lot of shots. This I don't like. I like catching a guy and letting him recover.
Yeah,
recover. The match, you know?
Did you see that? What's his name? Vicalis. You're close with him. Yeah, he's cool. He's good. He's a good dude. He's I saw that he did the podcast with you, right?
Yeah,
he's great. Yeah, he's cool. He's a good dude.
He told me spar with you in Dubai. He told me
he's good. He's good. He's good. I think he seems better now. He's good. I think he trains and then kind of like he goes like full throttle, then he takes a bit of time off, then he goes. I think it's probably like everything, like work, training, work. Yeah, I think it's hard to do like work and train, right? Because I think he still wants to have fun, travel, live his life. He's still young. But he's big now. I saw a photo that he put up. He's a lot bigger than
now. He's like your kilograms. Yeah,
he's cool. He's a good dude, and he's I think he's fairly genuine, which is like a
he's one of my best friends, and like he's like very good guy. Imagine, bro, when I was in jail, was one of the only guys who's like in constant talking with my wife, sending money, like everything, you know, like most guys, like you said, are pussy guys. Imagine these guys in Romania, they were pussy. These guys in Romania were like, bro, I don't want to associate. Maybe I get arrested. Maybe like pussy ass guys.
They're like, I can't even send you money because I don't want to send you money from my account because then they might look into me. And I even get
a guy was saying like, no, I don't want to send money to Vlad because he'll do lifestyle with the money. Probably paid the lawyers already. Like, all these are worms, you know?
And they wait for you. Also, I think some of them just want you to fail. Like some people, you have good friends and in their head, they're like, I hope that he gets 10 years. Like they just want you out of the game, right?
In my case, I have like many people because imagine, bro, when I was arrested, I was one of the most famous guys, like most viral guys in Romania. I had like 1 million views per day on short form, and every vlog I have under the Vlad Obu name had like 100k views, 200k.
Yeah, I remember seeing you had a lot of.
Yeah, and like in English, I have bullshit views, but like in Romania,
controversial as well, like controversy a bit, like as well, right?
Yeah, and imagine all these. The problem with my friends in Romania was this: like we're going out, let's say to the mall, and people were coming to them like, "Bro, take this phone, take me a picture with Vlad." Or we go somewhere, and some of them actually had more money than me, and they felt like they're my sons. And then they were happy. Yeah, now it's our turn. Now we can be, you know. And girls were saying like, "Oh, you're Vlad's boy," and they felt like
they don't like that. Yeah, they don't like it, and you don't know. And then later on, they like, I always feel like you're in the person's shadow. I get that a lot. Like Poland, I know people that are more famous than me, and if we go out, they get stopped nonstop. Like they'll get stopped by people all of the time. I don't care. Because I know that it's not my city and I'm not famous. Like I know that some people can stop me and be like, Steven, how are you? But it's not my city and they're more famous. That's just the way it is. Like you're with people.
Like me, I never realized this is a problem because I always like when I was hanging out with Tate, he was like the person people saw. You give a fuck. Like sometimes you're with somebody who's more famous than you. In other rooms, you're like You know, it doesn't matter.
It's like anything. Like if you're with, I don't know,
You have
like
to
Luke,
play every position.
yeah,
You
Luke
know?
Barnett or something. If you go out, he looks like fucking you're with, like, I don't know, like Hercules. He's like 10 foot tall. He can fight, and you just know that that's his area. And you're just like, oh well, of course, like he's the fucking UFC fighter.
It's the insecurities, like you were saying with the bitches, because people, this is why they have like, they want only ugly friends. They don't want the friend to have better car. They want to be bullshit ass worms, you know.
And they keep them like, they want
even
less.
when I go to the boxing gym, bro. I have one friend. He's like 206 centimeters, you know. And like every time I go out with him, it's like everyone looks at him, bitches. Give a fuck, like. Yeah, it's his area. Who cares, you know?
I see that with a friend of mine, Akash. He's not really tall. He's, you know, he's short, but he's not tall. But he still has tall girls. He'll date like a girl who's like 5'11", 6 foot. But that shows confidence, because it's like being short is a mental thing. Like it really is. Like some people, you stand next to the Tates, and I'm short too. Stand next to Jewel, I'm short too. But it's a mental thing. Like either you see some people, they don't care, and some people they do. Some people, like, I don't know, Bezos, Zuckerberg, they don't care. Like people sit there and think they're insecure. They're not, because they know that they're their lane. They're the man. They've transcended beyond that. It's like you're with people and you feel insecure because they have a nicer car or more money. Then it's like it never ends. You're never going to be enough.
And most people have these things, bro. What I notice is like most people have money. Most people who are tall. Most people, they don't shove it in your face anyway because they're used to this. You know?
They don't need to.
Like a famous person won't go and like say, yeah, I'm famous. You like, I remember when I got like the first time famous in Romania, had like a month or two when I was high with
you want to show people, of course.
Bro, I was so retarded. I was with bitches and I was inventing reasons to go to the mall to buy chargers just to, it's blood here. But after that, just don't give a fuck, you know?
You get used to it.
When you interact with people, they're not like jerking off. Yeah, I'm famous. Who the fuck?
Like,
you know?
When you fucking buy shoes the first time, you buy a pair of Nikes, you buy like Air Maxes, and you're broke. You're kind of like, oh, I have to post this. Like, I've just bought these, like, and then later you're buying, like, I don't know, like Louis Vuitton or something, and you're kind of like, I don't really care anymore.
Normalized.
It's who I am. Like you with girls, like once you get good girls, I mean, for business, you probably have to show up, but you're not sitting there with the photos being like, do you know this bitch? Do you know this chick? Do you know this chick? A lot of guys is like that, right? Because they're trying to prove to you that they can get girls around. But once you kind of can, you don't need to really prove it, right? And like you say, like showing it, everyone already knows. Like it's like being famous, you can't fake it. You can fake views, but then they walk around and no one knows who they are. It's hard. You like money, you can fake being.
Same with money. Like imagine if you go out to the beach and you're with your Lambo and stuff like this, you don't have to say there, I'm rich, you know, I have this business. She can already sense.
I think that shit. I think that shit goes against you. I think a beautiful house is amazing. Like if you have a nice house that you can set up and it's like, doesn't need to be a fucking mansion, but it's nice. Like you've got your spot with the lights. You can settle the mood and you can set it comfortable and it's a nice place. People feel good. People want to stay there. But then with the car and all of this, I don't think Lambo, I think it helps initially. Like it helps to get some girls in, but I don't think it helps because I know guys with Lambos and Ferraris that don't really get many girls. I think you get girls that want to sit in your car and take a photo. But you don't. It's not really a good spot to be in because I think that it just some girls also where they're from smaller spots they punish you. Some girls punish guys with money. Some girls punish the guy who's like flexing and being like I'm rich and I have this and that, and then she fucks a broke boy just to like show him that he ain't shit. I've seen it heaps of times. Guy who's a millionaire and then a girl will come to the club. He brought her to the club. He starts talking to another girl. The girl leaves the table and fucks to some dude who's just a local person. You know, it's like you thought that you could dunk on me and now I'm just going to dunk on you. I see a lot. Like money is
me personally, it's funny, bro, because me personally, when I bought my first car, when I first started making money and when I was like 21, 22, I didn't have a driver's license and I was retarded because I was happy. I had like a new Mercedes and shit. And they catch me and for 5 years I couldn't drive. I never, after the 5 years went away, I never took the driver's license. And I always didn't experience even this thing of like picking girl up, me and her and stuff like this. So I just have total different game with this. But what I noticed is, I feel like, it's nice to have, like in an ideal world, you have every element, you know?
Yeah.
But like if I had to tell somebody to prioritize, I think the lifestyle you have and the friends and how you guys did it in like Warsaw with like parties and stuff like this, social events, being a social person. This trumps the car because I see all these worms drive the Saturday night, him alone, drives car like a worm. All the bitches he wants to fuck are in the club, you know?
And he posts the photo and he's like, wow, I didn't really get anything. Like, I didn't get any traction because the girl wants to have fun. Your car might be a position of fun. Maybe she wants to sit in it.
Yeah, the car is good to pick up the girl is Saturday night.
You might get videos. They might take a video.
But then you have to continue with the other things. Be in the club, have friends. Most people don't have friends.
It's true. That's the network trumps most things. I find with women especially, they like that you can bring them into a network.
Into a universe, a new universe. Yes, very true.
Something. Maybe they're not going to try to fuck your friends and girlfriends, whatever, but they want to be bouncing around. You know, maybe they can still talk to people. They can still feel that there's a vibe there. It's not just you and her.
The hottest girls I ever fucked. Every time they entered my life, they had like 3-4 friends, you know?
Yeah.
And they wanted to be with the guy who's the man and has all the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Has dicks there ready to fuck her friends, has the party, has everything.
If I'm bringing a chick over, you have a friend.
Warm ass bitches, they want one-on-one. Drive car, sit, drink wine.
But it's the same for you, right? Like if you go to see a chick, she's like, oh, I got friends. You bring friends. It's just like it's just normal, right? Because it's a big, like it's social. I don't want to just like go to a chick's house and smash at her house because where's like this? How fun is it going to be?
Boring, yeah.
Commitment, yeah. I want to be like where, like kind of like I think the Tate said, where they take a girl to drinks or something and they have a big group and things like that. I get the idea of that.
This is my favorite setup as well.
I get that. I think one-to-one dates also have their place, but I think that, you know, when that big drink setup is good because also you see the girl is like, is she a weirdo? Like, is she going to be weird in the big group environment? Is she going to like, the other girls can be like, why are you with this chick? Like, she's a fucking loser. And the other girls snitch on each other. They're like, Vlad, do you know this chick? Like, she was in the bathroom and she's talking about her ex. So she's like talking about this new dude. They talk on each other.
I found out lots of things like this because I try to explain to people all the time. I have friends who like just date one-on-one, but you only see a facet of her personality. It's different when she brings her friends. You see when they're drunk, 4 a.m, you see how she talks with her friends. I seen lots of shit like, bro, I had like girls over with their friends 4 a.m. They put some rap song and then they say, oh, ha, ha, ha. And they, you know, this guy who sings, I fuck him. And you find out all this bullshit about them, you know?
You always see the bullshit of the city, right? They're like, you get this in Poland, they're like local rappers and the girls will talk. And you just feel, I knew who was like cool in the city because of girls. Because I was from Poland. I didn't know shit. I remember I said to the girls, I'd fuck a girl and I'd be like, who were like the top guys in the city that you think? Like who's like, when you look online, like who are the people of this city? Who's the people here? And then I realized kind of who they were and I met them, right? I realized that I want to meet them to see, like, are they really like that? I want to meet the people who are moving the needle. Like, why are people talking about them? I don't care if people are talking bad about them.
This networking aspect is very important when you move to the city because girls, like hot girls, not the worms who are sixes, the hot girls, they know the best clubs, what they actually are, what parties, where to go, what are the cool places. Because if you just search on Google, it brings up bullshit places. Like the place I go to in Bucharest, if you look on TripAdvisor, they're number 200 in like they present there some wormy destination. Nobody goes.
Tourist shit, right?
Tourist
bullshit. Like we always say, like if you land to Poland, you get on Tinder, you only get the welcoming committee. Like you only get the girls who just fuck everyone. Like they fuck the new dudes all of the time. You don't get the. I'm not saying that we got the best in that regard, but you don't get through. Like you can't break through that part to the kind of the next fucking way. But
you ever go back to Australia to visit, bro?
Not for now. I don't know if I can go back. I had last time I finished my parole and I left immediately the country. Australia.
So after the prison thing, you don't want to have like no.
It's risky. I think some countries, like I don't know if it's going to be like that in Romania, but the police never forget. Like even if you've gotten off, even if you got a little bit of prison, if they see you in a nice car, if they hear about you from a girl, if they hear anything, they can try and fuck you over. And I had in Poland, what I would get is so I would fuck a girl, and then she would maybe like she might complain about you at a party or talk about something, and then you don't know, like a police officer or someone might be there or someone important, and they're like, oh, this chick's hot. Come and tell me more about this foreigner who, is
this how they do. So listen, I have a story about this. So like when I was arrested, they took my phones took all my devices, and I was in jail. And in order for them to open the devices, to take every information, to put it on their laptops, you had to be there. So I was withdrawn from jail, and for like 7 hours for 3 days, I sit there. And and there I was with the police guy who instrumented the case from like organized crime. And this guy was just like talking there because it's nothing, I realized nothing personal. Like from his vibe, he was like, yeah, bro, you were viral. You were saying bullshit. I want to catch you.
And
you know, it's
also
like this game is nothing real.
They read your case and they're like, you're not a scumbag. They're kind of like, we know that.
And like this guy was like telling me, like he was showing me his contacts and like had like all these bad bitches in Romania in his phone. And you know how? So for example, in my case, I had like 8 victims, and like 20 other girls who are like witnesses. And now this guy has their number, and let's say another guy bumps on the scene, does parties, and he will message the chicks like, hey, Andrea, I'm this from the police. And all these bitches, they want these connections with the police because they're retarded bitches, and men beat them up, they're in all this bullshit, and they want a contact to call him like, hey, my ex-boyfriend beat me up, help me out. And they give information to each other. And like these guys have connections on the street with the bitches, and they ask, what's this guy doing? Okay, these are his friends, this is his business, they take drugs in the house. So this is how this is one of the ways police gains information from the bitches.
That's how they fuck people over. That's how I went to prison. So I went to prison in Australia because my ex-girlfriend at the time went to the police. So I was fucking her, I was dating her. I cheated on her with a girl that she said, don't fuck. She's like, I don't want you to ever fuck this girl. You know, promise me you won't do it. I'm like, no, of course not. Like, I won't fuck her. I fucked her. And then she went to a detective and then told him that I was selling drugs to this person. The police went to that person and arrested them and then built a case based on that sort of shit.
Did you notice before, like, she was susceptible of doing is like she was doing
I knew because I knew that she talked about a police officer that was a detective during the time that I'd met her. And I realized with women, they feel guilty. Like women, when they're fucking you over, they feel guilty and they often drop a little bit of information. Like they'll just suddenly talk about someone. Oh, you know, this guy at the gym, he's a little bit annoying and he's this. And I'm like, who is this guy at the gym? Like, you've never mentioned him before. Tell me a little bit about, oh, nothing. He's just, you know, I don't really like him. And then after you break up, you realize like she's fucking this guy at the gym that she spoke about one time. Like they have like this tendency to tell on themselves. They feel something and then they mention it. I realize that women do that really, really well. It's like with you, probably a girl will use a breakup and then she'll run to the next guy and be like, he's such an asshole. Like, I really hate him, is this and that. And the next guy's like, yeah, he's shit. I hate him as well. But I know that if a girl's talking about an ex or something, that's a big problem. True. It shows that she's still thinking about it, right? She can't get over it.
Did you learn any lesson from the girl snitching, or just when you like? I feel like me most of the times, although everyone says these lessons, like, yeah, I learned this lesson, never did it. Me, sometimes I do some bullshit for a period of time. I'm okay. I learn the lesson and then I'm back to being stupid.
Yeah.
What's your take on this?
Same thing for me. I'm just more careful with who you bring in. Like any girl that you bring, I realize like the downfall of all guys is going to be a girl. Like, you know, if you're, I don't know, famous, rich, anything, if the police don't like you for some small reason and they go through the last 20 girls that you fucked, they're going to find they're going to find 5 or 6 that they can make a story up. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's, you know, not necessarily bad, but when they bring it all together and they get a big picture, you're doing this, and they only hear the worst, right? The detective might only hear the absolute worst about you.
And not even the police, like even think of the Didi documentary. Like in my mind, when I saw the documentary, I'm thinking like everyone had fun when they were doing these parties because I can relate to they're retarded. They have so much money, they like fucking everyone, blah, blah, blah. And now, because his enemy was 50 Cent and all this bullshit, he go to some people, to some friend 5 years ago, hey, take 50K, talk about this guy.
Yeah.
It's very easy to set somebody up.
I think it's true. And I also think that, I'm not saying that all, because I remember I saw a video of him, like, I think maybe beating up his chick or something. But again, it's hard to understand because it's that celebrity extreme culture. I don't think, like, if you're with a chick and she continually comes back, like, the women has to have some level of, you know, ownership in that, right? Like, guys is like, oh, he's abusing women, but a lot of them are repeat people that keep coming there. Like even Weinstein. I'm not saying Weinstein's a great guy, that Harvey Weinstein, he was the executive producer and they say he abused a bunch of women. But I mean, you still got to say yes. Like you're getting a
bro.
benefit,
You
right?
know
You
what
want
for me? You know what for me is abuse.
it's
Like
not a
back in the
rapist.
yeah, like for me back in the day in Romania, there were these street pimps who were like,
Yeah,
let's say a girl was on the street, stops
yeah,
the car, takes her, go to Italy and fuck. This is abuse. Not when a girl sits with
yeah.
you for years, enjoys the lifestyle, enjoys the money, enjoys everything, and then
That's
after police comes and then she hates you because you fucked other bitch and you're not with her. You know, this is
well,
fake
she's
ass shit.
happy to suck your dick because she's, might get a movie role, but she's
Yeah.
there because she wants to be, right? Like he's never, in my view, from what I've seen, like to me, rape is like forceful. Like you're some guy on the street and you grab a chick and you're abusing her and doing a
Exactly.
bunch.
Yeah.
Not she comes out like 10 years later or 5 years later and she's like, he manipulated me into sex. I get it.
These
Maybe it's a
laws
thing.
are retarded anyway with the manipulation. It's the same laws I'm dealing with the human trafficking because they're saying like I for example, they put there a victim. The victim says, yeah, I never even did webcam, OnlyFans, never did nothing. He never said nothing to me. No, you're manipulated. You don't
Yeah,
understand. It's never by methods.
yeah.
Bullshit. This manipulation is subjective bullshit. How can
Scary, right?
you?
How do you defend yourself against that? And even I see like I think Russell Brand or something, they bring charges up from 20 years ago. And they're like, yeah, this girl said 20 years ago you abused. How do you defend yourself? Like 20 years has passed. The whole case, like
Yeah.
even in my mind, I'm like, maybe I can't even remember what happened. This is 20
I
years
talk
ago.
to guys, to be honest, I talk to guys who are older and they have money and they say things like, if they fuck with the new chick, they put their sign some contract. But I feel like it's hard to apply for me. Let's say it's
Yeah.
wormy. Like imagine deal with new
Yeah.
chick and tell her, yeah, sign this. Who am
They would
I?
never do
50
it.
Cent? Who am I?
Yeah.
No?
And even then, they still could fuck you, right? They'd be like, he manipulated her into signing and then she did all of this shit. Yeah. You can't win now. You just have to be careful. I always do the thing where if I'm with a chick, I always have cameras outside. So I'm always amicable when they leave. Like they leave outside and there's a camera because it's outside the area. They get seen and we kiss. Well, good to see you. I get you an Uber. You leave. I never like throw a chick out by her head and be like, you're on the street now, fuck off. Like figure it out yourself because you don't know, right? Like maybe she leaves, she's upset, she walks out, gets hit by a car, or she jumps in someone's car,
Yeah.
and then you're fucked, right? And you have a level
Yeah.
of responsibility, right? Like
The same,
I mean,
like I think it's the same shit with when you end the partnership or like all these business guys who have like a lot of money. They say like when you end the business
yeah,
relationship, you need to end it in like good terms to be a little bit of a crook because people actually appreciate nice
yeah,
words. You know what? Like these big companies, when they fire you, they say you were a perfect employee, Steven. Thank you. They never like, yeah, fuck
yeah.
off. They're not, you
Because they
know?
remember that, right? Like then they can really fuck you over at some point. Maybe you're, I don't know, in Dubai is dangerous, right? Like maybe you have a bad argument with the chick and she goes to the police and says something. Here it can be risky because they're very
Yeah.
careful with all that. So yeah, I think so too. And I think women remember, like, I mean, I had an ex, we dated a few years and I like fixed her teeth. I helped her with a lot of stuff. So they feel like they got something back because you still like, they look in the mirror and they're like, he helped me with something versus he just like didn't help me with shit. And now it's gone bad. Fuck this guy. You have to give him some reason.
With your experience, bro, like what's the best way to deal with like a girl that's annoying you? Like you think the ignoring part works, or you're the type of guy who's just like just talking to her, like just going to her place, talking to her, like, or you adapt the approach? What's your approach?
What do you mean, ignoring or annoying? Ignoring?
Ignoring, like if a girl annoys you, do you completely ignore her and stuff like this? You apply this, or just like argue
I don't know. I kind of depends what it is. I can be like super toxic. Like I've had times where my ex would annoy me and I would just bring another chick around. I'd be like, oh yeah, you're annoying. I'm going to invite another girl around. And then she would just stay and I would fuck the girl, even if she was just sitting around. So I think that like some things you just have to push. Like you can push certain things. But I know that can be too extreme in some.
You know what? Yeah, I think it all like the remedy for a situation depends on who you are dealing with. Because had girls, the ones who I know aren't violent and aren't so crazy, I would do this shit like bring a girl there, you know, fuck her, because I know this chick won't take a knife and hit.
She might, or she might put the fucking house down and do something crazy.
Yeah, but like if I see I have a chick who's like crazy. My approach is more lying, being the voice of reason, being, don't worry, nothing happens. Being like some Jew. Yeah,
I think but it shows that you like kind of care about her enough to keep her out of trouble, right? Because eventually she could snap. Like you bring another chick around, and like you say, maybe she does slash the chick or she does something crazy, and now you're like, her life is fucked. because the other chick might call the police. She might have fuck around, and
Yeah.
women don't like when they're emotional. They can, I don't know, maybe she's drunk and she just leaves your apartment, walks off, gets hit by a car, or disappears. You don't know, right? Yeah, and some of those girls where they make bad decisions, they can't come back from. It can be risky, especially when they're young. Like if they're like 21 or they don't have a lot of experience, maybe she's been drinking, maybe you're arguing and she's like, fuck you, Vlad, I'm going to go. And then she just disappears. You don't know, right? Something could happen.
Bro, what's your take on like how is the best way to handle like a family? You're the type who wants to have like multiple baby mamas, all this stuff. You think it's easy to handle it? Like how you see all this?
Yeah, I don't think it's easy to handle. I have a daughter, so I have a daughter in Australia. She's with her mom. Her mom's good. She's a great mom, which helps a lot.
You get along with the mom, or you have like beef?
Nah, we get along. We don't beef because I'm very careful, because I know if I'm beefing with her and she sits at home and cries, my daughter's like around that tension, right? And then when she grows up, she's going to be like a mess, right? Because she's going to be like, dad was an asshole and mom always cried a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And it rubs off, I think, when the kid's too young. And then it's like, it's not a good environment when you go there and you argue and you see your kid. Yeah, they don't like it. They feel everything, right? And they think it's their fault. And then when she gets older, she'll be with people like that. I don't want my kid to be with someone like me. Like I wouldn't want my daughter to be.
Me neither. I actually wrote a tweet about this. Like, you know, like all these guys say like, be a man that your daughter will marry, all this bullshit. Like, bro, I want my daughter to marry some simp, some normal guy, you know, like that respectful woman. I want her to be a toxic woman that like makes him do like suicide and scared of her and stuff like this, you know?
She has some level of power. I don't want her to be in a position where she's like, I don't know, getting dragged. Bro. Yeah. It's shit. So yeah, it's hard. It's really difficult for that sort of shit with kids. I'd like to have more, but it matters a lot the woman that you have them with, right? Like you have to be careful. You can't just, I don't know, chick's fucking dope head and then you're like, I'm just gonna knock her up. And then your kids just.
What the mother of your children you knew from the beginning should be a decent mom, or
yeah, I knew that.
Because I feel like, bro, I don't know. Like I feel like people also like change and like
you can't tell.
You have a kid with a bitch now and then she's with some idiot. You never know. Life is chaos, you know.
My ex has fucking like people say, oh, don't be with a girl who has tattoos. She has tattoos. She looks like you would see her and be like she's rough or she's bad or she must have been bad. But none of that's like you say, like none of that stuff is necessarily the case, right? I know girls who are covered in tattoos and could look bad that are sweethearts. And I know other girls that are, you know, look really like fucking church dress and look great. Yeah. And they're big thoughts. Like you can't. And I know guys who look like they're rough as fuck and they're good guys. And then I know guys who look like they're, I don't know, like fucking softest looking dude and they're hard asses, you know, like you can't tell. Sure. Like Triple G or something, right? They look like, you look at them and you're like, this guy's a nerd. And then they're a killer. You go to like BJJ gyms, some boxing gyms. Some of the guys look like geeks. And then they're just killers. Like they just wreck shit.
It's true, bro. Yeah.
The book, right?
Especially with girls, like guys make this mistake of like they see her Instagram profile and they think like, oh, she doesn't follow any man. It means she's a good girl. This bullshit. But many girls who are smart, they think in terms of like, no case, no face, no case. Like if there's no proof, nothing happened. And there.
How many girls like you would know? Like a lot of girls I don't even follow. And
I don't follow nobody for years. I have like zero.
Yeah, probably most of them we don't follow, right? And it's kind of like that, I think, for girls too. A lot of the girls, when they're hotter, they don't follow many guys, but they fuck guys. A lot of them that they don't follow.
Yeah, and it's like, and they just keep this clean image on the internet.
Yeah, it's more secretive because they want to land a guy who's like higher end, so they don't want the next guy to be like, oh, you were fucking Steven, that fucking guy who has parties and all of this. They dream about landing like the banker, the lawyer, the guy who's in courts, like someone who's fucking important in that sort of regard.
And girls already know, I think, with the TikTok and because this like the red pill and all this stuff is very out there now. It's not like 10 years ago. Girls know that these conversations that men like girls, they don't fuck many guys, and they want to lie to you. They want to pretend I only have relationships. They know the game already. They're not stupid.
And how did you find, like with TikTok and things like that, do you find like you get the most girls in via TikTok or you get most of the girls in on IG? I find TikTok is pretty underestimated.
Well, me, to be honest, I get more replies on TikTok because I think they don't get so many messages on TikTok. You know, like most guys don't have TikTok.
it's harder to get there, right? Like a lot of guys, like I don't want to do TikTok, so I just want to put photos.
Yeah, me personally now, I had like my Romanian TikTok where I was posting one of the accounts and like I just put some clean pictures from my vacations. I took off all the retarded
like
shit, all the reels.
How do you have to be more like careful of how it is online, like posting?
No, I don't give a fuck about this, but personally, I'm not interested in like posting content in Romanian. You know, like bullshit. I want to do like I'm more satisfied if I get 10K views in English rather than
yeah. But your English is fucking good. You've been practicing quite a bit, right? Like you.
Yeah, I had like I moved here some friends from United States and things like this, and I'm like just practicing because I'm talking to them more. You know.
Yeah. And I think
it's a bigger market abroad than sit in Romania.
Can charge more money, right? As well.
Yeah,
and guys
but it also gives you more. It gives me more power in Romania because if you think about it, here you're like you can have some Romanian friends, but me because I have friends from other countries, and if I go Dubai, I have friends. If I go Miami, I have friends. I have also more power in Romania. I can brag to these guys like, yeah, fuck, I have all these friends. You know, it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Being
and you get more
international is good.
Yeah, you get more range. You get more like a variety, and when you do things, I think doing them in English is strong. But you'll be here in yeah.
And also how like I felt like the top in Romania, how it is to be viral and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And be honest, it has also downsides, bro. Like I was going out the house, stopped by police 5 times a day. Everyone knew my car. Everyone knew what I stayed. Everyone, you know, like too much. Now I'm glad I'm not like so viral and I'm posting Romanian. Just can live my life more normally, you know.
Are you gonna do anything when you come here, like in Dubai? Do you have plans? Are you gonna do like a
Bro,
meetup?
I'll do like a meetup with some of the guys in my community as well. You're also invited. I'll give you the details.
Yeah, bro. I'll come along. When is it going to be? End of the month?
Like 24 February. 24.
Wait, I'll come along because I'll be here.
Yeah, and I just want to hang out there and shit, you know?
Yeah, just shoot the shit and maybe you want to do.
Yeah, maybe we go out, spar. I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we can do it. And I think Vitalis will be here as well. I haven't seen him in a while, but
he's in Poland now.
Oh yeah, okay. I heard
actually, you know, it's funny. You know what we were talking earlier about the situation where you're with a girl and there's dudes out there and doing like bullshit gestures. So like Vitalis was with the Polish girl, and they were at the table. She went to the bathroom, and one guy.
This is at San. This is at San. I think I heard a bit of the story.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
the other week. I heard it. Yeah, someone told me.
Yeah, some guy just went to the bitch and I was like, "Yeah, give me your number. I'm with my boyfriend." Yeah, fuck this guy. Yeah. Vitalis got angry and went there and like beat up the guy in front of his friends.
Yeah, it's classic, right? Vitalis, though, I can see that. But he's good. What I like about him, he wouldn't do it to other people though. So I think it's like that, right? Like if he would do it to them and they do it to him, you feel like this is disrespect.
Yeah, and he's also the type of person like me. It's very hard to get angry. The only person who makes me angry is the girl I'm with. Like if now I'm with a bitch for a long-term relationship, this is the only person that can get me angry. Like normal people on the street,
the emotion. There needs to be an attachment. Yeah, like you're attached.
And Vitalis is the type of guy. When you go somewhere with him, somebody looks bad, he generally gets angry. You know, gets angry and reacts. But I think it's good to have some friends like this, because with a guy like him on the street, even if he's not like the best boxer and at least he takes some object and hits the guy, you know?
I think Greek though, so they have that passion. Where they have that passion. But he's also good. He's good talker. He does really well. Even with girls, he's fine, he's chill. He does well.
You plan on like keeping the setup like for the years to come, like Warsaw, a few months, Dubai?
I think so. I think either that or somewhere else around Europe. I think it's the best for now, because I think a lot of the other shit is like kind of a shithole. Like I like German, can be okay, but the place is kind of like crappy. Like who wants to go there? Germany, UK, I don't know, France. Like they're turning into dumps. Like,
I think it's maximum like 10 cities in the world that makes sense.
Expensive. Like I don't want to go somewhere where I'm paying heaps of money to be around heaps of shit bunches. Like what's the point? I would rather go somewhere where the places where they're good is where everyone's still afraid to go there. Like Russia. Poland is not great anymore because people aren't scared to go there. Like the nerds could walk around safely. We always have a saying, like as soon as you like make the place safe and all of the nerds can go there and we're running around, we're alphas again, then it's like turned into it's just saturated. People are scared to go to Russia. They're scared to go to Ukraine. Some are still scared to go to Romania. That's good. because they like it keeps the people out. So it's still like, you know, you have to go there and you have to earn your way there. It's not saturated. Where
Bro,
Warsaw
what's
is,
your take on like the best, like for you, what's the best work schedule? Like how many hours do you work per day?
I only work probably 4 hours a day at the moment, but I try to do like 2 or 3 really concentrated hours, like where I'm like in burst mode. And
Like
then
phone on, do not disturb, and like focusing and stuff.
And then I also probably still do like maybe an extra hour through the day where I'm just like replying to messages or some other shit like that. So I probably work maybe 5 hours a day, but 2 or 3 of those is like phone away working. And just I try to write down like 2 or 3 things that I need to do. And then I hit those. And I don't really care about the rest, right? Like if you're like, these are my big money items. And I'm like, as long as I nail these, I have to reply to this guy. Like this guy is someone who, I don't know, works with me or is important and important for my revenue or my groups. I have to keep them on top of those guys. And then I try, it's like, I don't know, probably like that with chicks. Like you have the girls that you reply to because they're like really the ones that you actually want to keep replying to.
Yeah.
You might have others where you don't really reply and then you check a few days later and get back to them or something like that. Because you only have so much, like people say, oh, you can just work 10 or 12 hours or 14 hours all day, every day. But you get to a point where you can't do that. For me anyway, I don't like it. I burn out. I'm like,
yeah, if I don't have no inspiration and I feel like I have burnout and I have brain fog, I cannot produce any good thought. And even I cannot tell some soldier to do something. I have no ideas in my head. And me personally, when I'm in this position, I'll just stop and I would just do completely something else. Even small shit, like I'll just go to my room and clean my clothes and stuff like this. At least I need some peace of mind, because if I sit at the laptop and can have no idea to do nothing,
it gets worse. Because if you think about it and you think about it more, and then you're like, fuck this, I'm just going to go out today. I'm going to take like, I'm just going to go to the club. I'm going to go somewhere to a beach club or do something. And then you're like, oh, I didn't work at all day. So I think it's the same. You need to do the impact work, but you need to have that like at least 2 hours a day where you're just really on and you get all your messages done. You get your ideas.
What's like a game changer for me, I think, is like when I make myself have a good vibration and enter like a flow state and have like generally good ideas that are high ROI and like generally make a difference. Because this is the name of the game, you know?
And sleeping
have like
and shit.
Brilliant idea to know what to do, exactly, you know?
Yeah, because you like some of the shit you write like is very free thinking, right? Like it's not really, you write things that other people probably don't, right? Like some of your things go outside the box, whereas a lot of other people are like, I'm stuck in this like lane and that's it. I can't go outside that. Tate says this, and I can't go out. I don't have any of my own ideas. I just do whatever.
Yeah, me, I'm like the type of person, like I do shit. And sometimes I'm just like living life. I'm not thinking nothing. I cannot produce no idea because I'm just into the moment. And then after I do something and I have at least a few days or weeks when I'm just sober and I'm just thinking what happened, and then I can come to some conclusions like, okay, this happened, you know, this is the conclusion I have.
Yeah, it's important. That's the shit that I think matters, because then you can get the creative stuff down and actually think of new ideas or like a new business or a new part of the business, right? Rather than be just like, I don't know, just workhorse nonstop. That stuff doesn't work.
I think it's for you. I think it's like a life hack with the crypto and shit, because crypto is like something like have money and you can live your life, right?
Yeah, that's a big thing. So I've been lucky in that sort of regard, which is good. And it gives you shit you can build when you want to, right? Like it's different when you, I don't know, get out of jail and you're like, I have to fucking fix all of this shit. I got to rebuild these systems. I got to rebuild all this shit. Now I feel like I'm hungry again because I got to do it. But then you get to a point where you're comfortable, you're back kind of on top, and then you're like, I don't need to change.
Your situation with going out of prison and having like crypto and stuff like this reminds me. I read the book when I was arrested, like Count of Monte Cristo. When he went out of prison and had money, and then he could do shit.
Story. That was amazing. That was similar. Yeah, amazing story. He met the priest and then broke out. Yeah, it's one of my favorite books actually. It's
a good prison book.
Yeah, it is. It gives you some fucking hope in there, because reading in there and all that shit. And when you're sitting in prison, you think of all of this stuff like, it's just so basic, right? You're like, I remember sitting in the cell, I'm like, oh, I just miss seeing a chick, like just talking and like hugging and like I miss that. And then when you get out,
you miss it,
all the small shit though, you don't think about like, I just want to fuck this girl, this girl, this girl. You're like, I miss having someone close, like that cares and actually gives a shit, right? Then when you get out,
you know what they realized? With me, when I was locked up, I was thinking like everything, like so many things are happening, but like I don't think so many things are happening. Like I'm sure people who were losers when you went in jail, like after 2 years, were the same losers.
Yeah,
Same, nothing really changed. You know.
nothing. And also the shit that you hear is like everything's this guy, like you say, kind of the same, right? Like you hear a few stories, a few things happen. Maybe someone else went to jail, or maybe someone died, or something. Yeah, depending on how long you're away. But you kind of like most people, like it's not that they don't do anything like really that exciting, right? So it's kind of like, and then you get people like it was boring since you were away. Since, yeah. And then but sometimes it's good because you give them something to miss. Step out for a bit, and then they come back and they're like, "Fuck, I missed this." Like,
what age did you get out of prison? Like,
so I would be 8 or 9 years. 8 or 9 years now. So what? 32, I would say. 32 years old.
You were out at 32, right?
Yeah. 32, maybe 33, maybe 33.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but still, it's quite a long time. And then COVID happened, and COVID happened when I was still on parole. So it's kind of like everyone was locked down in Australia. I was on parole. So I was kind of like, this isn't bad. For me, it was kind of okay because no one could do shit.
It was the best. For me personally, it was the best period because, like, even with the dating, like usually when it's not COVID, you have to go out all this shit.
Yeah,
then you can do just house parties. Then you can just
everyone's bored. Yeah, like everyone's like, fuck, I want to do something. Like, is anyone doing something? It's like,
my online businesses like grew a lot in COVID. Yeah. I got in good shape. Like for me, it was good. Didn't give a fuck. Like depends on your business. If you have some restaurant, it's bullshit.
Yeah, it would be fucked. Yeah, but I think a lot of that shit is good to have like a side business, right? Like you say, like good to make it, and then you have some business where you go and you sit down and everyone's fucking kisses your ass there because they work for you, and then you can
inevitably, me personally, I want to get to the point where I have like physical businesses, just because I don't know. Because I want to be like the 50-year-old who fucks all these chicks and all this stuff. I think it's good to have them there.
And something where you're like, this is my spot. It's a shisha joint with food, and I can just sit there
and meet all these people. It's good, to be honest.
You can run events there if you want, or you can have people there. You can talk there. I think Jewel does it. He has the suit shop. The fucking,
very good.
And he has the guys that do the same shit. But no, so I'm gonna go and get some food in a minute, brother.
Yeah, bro. Let's wrap it up.
Amazing talk, man. It's really good to see you.
Guys, the best business you can start right now is webcam. If you check my Telegram channel, Joe Lampton, I post there all the receipts from our community webcam profits. We have people making thousands of dollars per day. So you should definitely check the link below, because most of you are broke. All you need is money. You see all these things we're doing, fucking bitches going out, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't have enough money, you cannot do shit. So check the link, go to the website, watch the video where I explain everything about webcam, and start your webcam agency now.